coating locks out 100% of the moisture, 90% of the sun's UV rays, and we back it up with a 25-year transferable warranty. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. See why we are rapidly becoming your neighbor's go-to solution for cracks, splits, nail pops, and just bad color schemes. Now's the time to be smart to save time and money. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you're having payroll tax problems, the IRS can and will come to your business and shut it down. Hi, this is Lance Drury, and I'm an experienced tax attorney based right here in St. Louis. Look, the IRS takes payroll tax issues very seriously, and penalties are extremely high. As a business owner, you can be held personally responsible, so shutting your business down will not protect you. Call my office and set up a free confidential appointment today. I have over 12 years of extensive experience dealing with the IRS and payroll tax issues, and I can help you resolve your problems quickly. Remember, if you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems. You need an attorney who specializes in tax law. You need me, Lance Drury. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Dear beloved home, over the years we've experienced many of life's changes together. Our lives have changed, and we've made changes to you as well. Some simple, like new paint and carpeting. Others larger, like finishing the basement. Now, as we pulled into our driveway at the end of a long day, we had noticed it was time for a makeover. Your older windows were drafty, and the days of patchwork on the siding were due for more. So, we contacted Exteriors by Mosby, and they designed and provided us a broad range of options for new windows and siding that lets us love your outside as much as we love your inside. Exteriors by Mosby Building Arts used only the highest quality materials from the most reputable brands. So, we know you've been well taken care of for years to come. With Exteriors by Mosby, we're taking as good care of you as you care for us.
With Exteriors by Mosby Building Arts, you'll fall in love with your home all over again. Call 909-8383 or visit exteriorsbymosby.com. Exteriors by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
The Annie Frey Show.
This hour brought to you by the Rick and Tracy Ellis Real Estate Team. Heard right here on 97.1, Saturdays at 9 and Sundays at 10. Visit TracyEllis.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Turkey and Saudi Arabia are working hand in hand very closely on getting to the bottom of what happened. So we'll see what happens. But Mike Pompeo is leaving literally within an hour or so. He's heading to Saudi Arabia. We are going to leave nothing uncovered. With that being said, the king firmly denied any knowledge of it. He didn't really know. Maybe, I don't want to get into his mind, but it sounded to me like maybe these could have been rogue killers. Who knows? We're going to try getting to the bottom of it very soon, but his was a flat denial.
President Trump speaking today about the mysterious disappearance of Jamal Khashoggi, who was a Washington Post journalist, went in to get divorce papers finalized and never came out. So we're going to get the updates on that. A lot of speculation surrounding this story, and it's an important one when it comes to the United States' relationship with Saudi Arabia taking place in Turkey. It's a very important. It's important that we get the information, get the facts, and get to the bottom of this. And there is not a lot of immediate reaction. We had Senator Roy Blunt on last Friday. We asked him about this because we were aware of it last Friday, and he was very hesitant to speak on it then because he emphasized the importance of knowing the facts surrounding the matter before he weighed in with his opinion. So welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Monday to you. Tony, what do we know so far about this specific issue? And obviously Mike Pompeo is now involved. What are the details as of this point?
Yeah, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, is on his way, I think, as we speak, to Saudi Arabia to discuss this with the Saudi government and continue the investigation and get to the bottom of this. Just to reset for what happened last week when the story broke, Jamal Khashoggi, as you just mentioned, a American journalist for the Washington Post, lives in the United States. He was in the He was in Istanbul in Turkey, and he went into Saudi Arabia's consulate there to file some routine paperwork, which you mentioned. Reports are that it was divorce papers. Turkish officials allege that Khashoggi, who is also a critic of the Saudi regime, was killed in that Saudi compound in the consulate. And there are Turkish reports from their government that they say that they have audio and video to support these allegations, but they've not produced any of that yet. The president has said that he has spoken with Saudi officials, including the king, and the king is saying that Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with this, and that they believe that it was rogue killers. That's the term of the day when it comes to this story, rogue killers. He claims that Saudi Arabia and Turkey are working together to investigate this. The president did say something interesting over the weekend, that he was extra interested in this story because not only is this person somebody who lives in the United States, but he is a reporter. And the president said that the fact that he's a reporter makes him even more interested because he doesn't want reporters who are traveling internationally doing their job to report the news and report what's happening in the world to be in fear of their lives or to be victims or to,
standing up for the media there.
Standing up for reporters, exactly right. So, like we said, Mike Pompeo is on his way over there to continue this investigation. Saudi Arabia and Turkey apparently are working together on this investigation as well. Saudi denies all claims that they had anything to do with this man's disappearance and apparent death.
Yeah, and it appears as though there's no side is supplying any evidence to support their claims. So we're just kind of left to wait and see, which I'm not opposed to. There's anytime there's a journalist offed, assuming that he was offed and he's not, somewhere else and being held or whatever other kind of nefarious activities could have taken place here, you wonder what information that journalist had access to and why that would actually be the case. So we are waiting to see exactly what is going to come of this story, and we will keep you up to date. As we said, the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, is headed to Saudi Arabia, and he's going to meet with the Saudi king to discuss this. So there's a lot of interest. Of course, being a Washington Post journalist, somebody who who lived in America, it seems interesting how much intrigue surrounds this versus the people who are, in third world countries. Some of the stories that you hear on a regular basis, people are often like, oh, well, that's really unfortunate, but the story seems common. This involving somebody who has ties to the United States of America makes it different, makes it something of greater interest to us. And so obviously that's being paid. If you have your Secretary of State flying to Saudi Arabia to say, hey, what's going on here?
I did read a report on Fox News that they might have had recordings of what happened to him through his Apple Watch, which is, what a crazy thing to realize that right before he entered somewhere, he could have pressed record and now it's up in the cloud and there's no way to delete it from the cloud.
Yeah, the technology present there is it's a big deal. All right. Well, so we're going to follow that story as it continues on. The other story that a lot of people are talking about right now is the story of Donald Trump's 60 Minutes interview with Leslie Stahl. I watched that in its entirety this morning, and this was the first time that I was 100% entertained by Donald Trump and not put off at all. He was saying things that initially, maybe in like February of 2017, if he would have talked like that, I would have been like, a little uncomfortable. And he was just rolling through it, and he was saying things in the Donald Trump way that to people like me, I'm not saying that this is for everybody, because Donald Trump, even though he's the president of everybody in the United States of America, is not going to be stomached by everybody in the United States of America, not even the people who will vote for him. There are going to be people who vote for Donald Trump in 2020 that don't really like him. They will still vote for him because they are seeing the results from his presidency. And whoever the opponent in 2020 happens to be, maybe they're just not thrilled with. But listening to him go through this interview and doing things in the most Donald Trump possible way, this time, for whatever reason, maybe it just caught me on a good day. It just made me laugh.
I'm just telling you that you treated me much differently on the subject.
I disagree, but I don't want to have that fight with you.
Hey,
it's
okay.
Have another fight with you.
Leslie, it's okay. In the meantime, I'm president and you're not.
Hey, it's all right.
I mean, what are you saying there? Let me translate. Let me do the subtitles for you, even though you know what he's saying there. What he's saying is, you guys treat me like crap. I'm not getting a fair shake. It's not like you were fair to Obama. You were complicit with the Obama administration. The people in the mainstream left-lean media actively sought to prop up and glorify President Obama. And the key problem with that is that the purpose of that media is to advocate for you and me. We are the ones who are supposed to be represented by the people's media. And folks like you and me are so stinking sick and tired of the way that the media slants all the time that we get to the point where if you turn on a Fox News opinion show like a Sean Hannity or a Laura Ingraham or a Tucker Carlson, yeah, they have a slant. But they're opinionators. They're not news people. Bret Baier is a news person. I think he's a very fine news person. I love watching Bret Baier. I think he's extremely fair. I love watching the way, what's it at 10 o'clock? Fox at Night or something like that with Shannon Bream.
Shannon Bream is a killer.
Bream
She's great.
Go through the issues and question and the way they bring in people of different beliefs, different opinions. I think that's really valuable. But the way this media treats President Trump outside of Fox News, at least with the rest of the mainstream media, it's an assault on Donald Trump. And the truth is, the reason why it irks so many people like you and like me is because it's an assault on you. The things that they're insulting Donald Trump over, it's actually his conservatism. It's actually the conservative principal values. This understanding that there is something inherently racist about Donald Trump, they would say the same thing about you. Or the misogynistic tendencies that they say that he just has, they'd say the same thing about you. And God forbid you're a woman who supports Donald Trump. You're a sexist against women. You're a misogynist if you do that. Just inherently, just by virtue of identifying yourself as a Republican. I think it's an interesting time. I mean, I don't know how many times you get the calls to take the political surveys. Tony, do you get phone calls a lot for surveys? I don't know how much they do it in Missouri.
I don't know.
Katie?
I don't.
I get them all the time. Illinois is doing a lot of polling. And the interesting thing about it is my husband and I both got the same poll call last night at different times. And they ask you, everything's like very favorable, somewhat favorable, indifferent. somewhat unfavorable, very unfavorable. I love taking these polls. I take every single one I can take. If my kids are screaming in the background, I'm just like, deal with it. This is my life. You can listen to them scream because I have to. So it's like, let's share in this. But they get to the question where it says, do you consider yourself to be a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, or a libertarian, or whatever the question is? And there's always this hesitation to say Republican, to just be like, I'm a Republican. Because actually, now that I think about it, they didn't even say libertarian. I think they said independent. And my husband and I were taking this poll, and he was giving his answers, and I always have to keep my mouth shut because his answers are not going to be the same as my answers. And when it comes to the Republican question, you may find, like I do, there is a hesitation to say, I'm a Republican. And that hesitation comes from the years leading up to probably the formation of the Tea Party, at least in my mind, where you were so sick and tired of this government, this Republican-led government that was handing out stimulus packages and, expanding government and providing entitlements. You're like, this is not the Republican leadership that I voted for. And this is not, cash for clunkers, whatever it might be. These are not the Republican principles that you stood for when you cast votes for these people, which came in a whole new wave. Do you know who probably the most successful? I don't know. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Nikki Haley was a Tea Party elect. She came out of the Tea Party and she became the governor of a state, did fantastic. And then obviously the ambassador to the United Nations. And she's got like a 55% approval rating with Democrats. And if you listen to the Democrats on Capitol Hill, they support her. They think she's done well. But that's what the Tea Party was. It was a recalibration of the Republican Party, because it was like, you need to get in check with what you're willing to take out of my paycheck. You can't just have access to big government that is the Republican form of big government. We don't like big government. And if you don't understand that, then you need to stop calling yourself a Republican. Donald Trump comes in, and I would say ultimately he is also a product of the Tea Party. This idea that we're going to get away from the establishment, which has basically been renamed the swamp. And it's probably one of the most bipartisan issues that we have in Washington, D.C., where these people feel like they can just do big government better than the other person across the aisle. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle they're on. But in the age of Donald Trump, if you've ever been hesitant in the last 10 years or so to call yourself a Republican, not because you don't like the Republican Party, you just don't like the direction it's taken, and you want the Republican Party back, I think Donald Trump is giving you that party back. And I think now is a time to be proud to say that you are a Republican. And libertarian, if you want to distinguish yourself as a libertarian, I think that distinguishment has even come out of the Tea Party movement as well. But if you're like me, it's time you say, yeah, I'm a Republican, and you just put a period after the end of the sentence. No qualification. You don't need to. Donald Trump is doing that for the party. And the party of Donald Trump, the Republican Party under Donald Trump, is very, very different than 10 years ago. Phone calls when we come back, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. Also, we'll get to the highlights of the day. And Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaffer is going to join us at 12:40 to give us the details on what is going on in Saudi Arabia with this missing journalist. Also, Jared Halperin is going to join us in 1:45 to talk about how the balance of powers is looking in the midterms. And very excited about this guest. At 2:10, Dean Cain, Superman, is going to talk to us about Gosnell, movie that's out this weekend, and we're going to hear from him about how that's doing. Your phone calls as soon as we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Hey guys, it's Glover. We have teamed up with Michael's Flooring Outlet to find DGS Superfans with a shout out from their favorite show. Get featured on our website and they'll receive a limited edition DGS Superfan t-shirt courtesy of Michael's Flooring Outlet. Get registered now at 971talk.com/super.
Who needs age spots, wrinkles, or bags under the eyes? Get a more natural, youthful look at Ridenour Plastic Surgery. 314-878-8600 or ridenourplasticsurgery.com. Age beautifully with Ridenour, 878-8600.
STL Fence Works, I've told you all about their customer service, how they're very focused on making sure that at the end of the project, you are fully satisfied with your experience in working with STL Fence Works. Well, it's definitely true. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And you can find out from people who have used STL Fence Works and hear it from yourself. But if you're thinking about the possibility of putting a fence on around your house, if you are thinking about a privacy fence because you just need less information coming in, maybe from the yard next to you, you've had enough, and you don't want to have to see what's going on over there or share the information all the time about what's going on in your yard. Or if you just want something that's nice and elegant and almost you can't even see it. It just blends in with the landscaping, but still yet a divider to keep the grandchildren in a safe space or to keep the dog in a safe space. STL Fence Works is ready to take your phone call. If you are looking for a fence or deck purchase for your home, they will make it as simple and pain-free as possible. Financing is available. You can visit them online at stlfenceworks.com.
A lot of nasal congestion, especially at night, facial pain, pressure.
Cynthia suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She was fed up.
I was in my primary care physician's office and she was prescribing another course of antibiotics. And I think at that moment, I just thought, this is ridiculous. There has to be some other option.
She set an appointment with Dr. James Gould at the St. Louis Sinus Center. Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office called balloon sinuplasty.
I was home within a few hours and back to work the next morning. I could breathe so much easier, especially with activity and at night, being able to sleep a lot better. My energy level was increased, being a mom and being able to be more active with my little one. At least to me, that was the most important thing.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections? Set an appointment today with Dr. James Gould at the St. Louis Sinus Center. Call 314-449-8761. 449-8761. That's 449-8761.
If Richard lived in Indiana, his property taxes would be at least $4,380 less than what he currently pays in Illinois.
This year it's going to be $8,380, practically double the national rate.
If Wendy lived in Indiana, her property taxes would be at least $7,184 less than what she currently pays in Illinois.
I just not going to stay in Illinois. You can't just keep taxing homeowners.
Your property taxes go up, your home value goes down. Politicians waste your money. The government takes your home. We're all the same when it comes to property taxes. You either force politicians who oppose property tax caps out of office, or they force you out of Illinois. A group of independent property tax reform candidates, including the Metro East's Dwight Kay, are running to save your home and our state now. Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org to take up their fight just as they have taken up yours. You stay. The politicians go, because they're the ones who suck. SaveYourHomeNow.org. Liberty Principles paid for this ad and is solely responsible for its content, not affiliated with any candidate or candidate committee.
Here's Aaron Gruff, owner of the Sucrose Bakery in St. Charles, Missouri.
As a small business owner, I know how important every single customer is. That's exactly why I'm supporting a gradual, reasonable increase to Missouri's minimum wage. It's a win-win for our state. It gives hardworking people a little more money to cover their basic needs, but it also means more money to spend in businesses like mine.
Like hundreds of business owners across Missouri, Aaron knows that increasing the minimum wage means more customers for small businesses, which also means more hiring and more jobs. It's not surprising that the Chamber of Commerce's polling finds that 80% of businesses support increasing the minimum wage. Because when working families do well, Missouri thrives. Support small businesses. Vote yes on Prop B. Paid for by Raise Up Missouri.
The target of progressivism is individualism.
Mark Levin.
The purpose of the great progressive change is to control you, is to smother you. This is what your media believe in.
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast on demand and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Let me lie got your chemicals, mama, I'm sure all down and I just around.
Do you really think I'd call Russia to help me with an election? Give me a break. They wouldn't be able to help me at all. Call Russia. So ridiculous.
It's my fave.
So ridiculous. You think I need their help?
Listen to it.
Do you really think I'd call Russia to help me with an election? Give me a break. They wouldn't be able to help me at all. Call Russia. So ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
You're crazy for asking.
I love it. It makes me laugh. I that's what I'm enjoying about this the most, is that I am to a place, maybe it's because I finally have determined in my mind, I'm sure that there are people who think this is crazy for me to say this, but in my mind, the things that people are attacking Donald Trump for have become harmless to me, specifically because of the way that they're attacking, the hypocritical way with which they use their attacks. I can't take a party seriously that has Keith Ellison and Bill Clinton in it that wants to assault this president, Donald Trump, for behavior towards women. Because what we know about Donald Trump and his past is that he is perpetually unfaithful. He's pretty much faithful to being unfaithful. And we have Melania Trump coming out and saying in the interview she just did, I guess it was maybe Friday that she did it, where she said that she doesn't think about that stuff. It's not of concern to her, and it's pretty much only of concern to the media. So let's just juxtapose what the media is doing to Melania Trump with what the media is insinuating that Donald Trump is doing to Christine Blasey Ford. You have a woman who has experienced something. Well, she's a woman, so we should believe everything she says, correct? If you're going by the rules of the left, if they say something, then you should just take it for gospel. So if Melania Trump says, back off, I'm not thinking about this anymore, it's not of issue to me, then they should back off, right? But no, because in that scenario, the indiscretions by Donald Trump pre-presidency are of value to this party, to the Democrats. So Melania doesn't qualify as a woman who should be believed. And the way they have treated Melania, I cannot get over the way this industry, Hollywood, the entertainment industry, the media, I cannot get over how much they despise and bully, to use Melania's word, the First Lady of the United States. Mm-hmm. They created Michelle Obama into a fashion icon. You were supposed to see her as this almost queen-like figure. Mm-hmm. And you know what? She was beautiful. And she was... she would dress herself in gorgeous gowns. I don't like anything that she stands for. And if you think that she's not beautiful, don't call this show and tell me about that, because that's not going to happen. I think she was beautiful. I didn't want to hear what she had to say most of the time because I disagreed with most of the things she said. But we did hear from her last week where she said that Eric Holder's comment about when they go low, we kick them. She said that's not right. That's not the way we're going to do these things. That's not the way we want to raise our kids. So I'll give her some credit there. I have no problem, giving credit where credit is due there. But we sure look at this First Lady, who is an actual supermodel, who is flawless, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, and people. They're high profile designers who won't even go near dressing her.
And she does her job well. She does a great job.
She's brilliant. Mm-hmm. And if she were, the truth of the matter is, she could probably have all of the same initiatives, all of them exactly the same. And if she were a Democrat, she'd be the hottest thing in the world.
Cover of every magazine.
The world. Mm-hmm. Forget just the United States, the whole stinking world.
Now, let's get to the highlights.
Makes me mad.
A woman, an immigrant, she would be the poster
of everything
of the Democratic movement. Is Elizabeth Warren Native American?
Survey says.
Yeah. Little bit.
No.
Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren took the rare step today of releasing DNA test results examining her possible Native American ancestry. In apparent response to the persistent criticism from President Donald Trump and other Republicans, Trump, of course, calls her Pocahontas. The results shared with the Boston Globe reportedly reveal strong evidence that the senator has a Native American ancestor dating back somewhere between 6 and 10 generations.
There's one in there.
To put that in perspective, Warren might be even less Native American than the average European American. However, there's probably an ancestor back there somewhere.
So you're
yes
saying
and no.
there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. I don't know if you've ever done one of those DNA tests. Dave Glover
No.
did one a few months ago. And I mean, he had everything in there somewhere.
Yep.
There was like...
So you are what you want to be.
I can't remember exactly. I mean, there was one that was just completely bizarre.
Wasn't he like Viking or something?
But it was like, it was like
I remember
1/10
him
of
saying-
1%.
Yeah, I remember him saying that he
Viking.
was thinking he was
Dave
Irish
Glover.
and turned into
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
It was all over. But she does have again strong evidence that she has a Native American ancestor somewhere back 6 to 10 generations. So she has come out and said,
"See,
proof done. You called my mom a liar. I've proved you wrong." The president once said that he would give $1 million to a Native American charity of her choice if she proved it. She wants him to pay the $1 million.
He should.
He should.
He absolutely should.
I completely
and he should
agree.
have a rally to celebrate it. Everybody would love it. And he could start a GoFundMe and say, "You want to match my $1 million? Put it here," and it would do it. It probably
Skyrocket.
would double it.
He said he didn't say that, though.
Oh, he didn't? He
Anyway.
should still do it.
Oh, he
He
should.
should still
He
do it,
absolutely should.
just to-
But
just
he
to do
says
it.
he didn't make that statement.
Forget about that part of the story.
Yeah.
Sorry, just move on. Pretend that didn't happen.
Well, she's Native American. Kinda. A little bit. About as much as we are. Even less than most of us, actually. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Tony's done.
Okay, he's done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
A woman was fired from her job this weekend over a cell phone video showing her attempting to stop a fellow resident from entering their building here in St. Louis. The video was posted on Facebook, taken by Darian Tolles, and has now been viewed by more than 2 million people and shared 70,000 times. Tolles was trying to enter his residence at the Elder Shirt Lofts when the unnamed but clearly seen on video blonde woman stopped Tolles from entering and demanded proof that he lived there. He showed her a key fob, told her that it was his building as well as hers, and moved right past her. She followed him in, rode the elevator to his floor. Tolles says police arrived at his residence later and then left. Apparently, she called the police. The woman works with Tribeca STL. It's a minority-owned business who released a statement on Sunday saying that they were disturbed by that interaction between their employee and Tolles, and the unnamed woman was terminated.
Oh, wow. Hillary Clinton's at it again, guys, this weekend. Surprise, surprise. She denied in an interview with CBS Sunday Morning that her husband's extramarital affair with then White House intern Monica Lewinsky was an abuse of power, and added that former President Bill Clinton was right not to resign amid a scandal that led to his impeachment on perjury and obstruction charges. She was asked, should Bill Clinton have stepped down? She said, absolutely not. She was then asked, it wasn't an abuse of power? Nope. Not at all.
And scene.
Scene.
She said because she was an adult. That's why it wasn't. Here's the if any sex scandal involving an intern is an example of abuse of power, I'm willing to make that blanket statement.
I'm willing to make that statement.
Back to you, Frank.
The Ducks came from behind in the third period against the Blues last night to win 3-2. It's the third time this season the Blues have surrendered a third period lead. The Note now just 1-2-2 on the season. They'll have until Wednesday night to think about it as they hit the road to face Montreal.
Think
In
about
baseball,
what you've done.
The Red Sox picked up a win over the Astros to even their American League Championship Series at a game apiece. Game 3 is Tuesday in Houston. The Dodgers and Brewers resume their NLCS series tonight in Los Angeles. And the U.S. women's soccer team qualified for the World Cup 2019 in France.
And might I add that, look at how nice Frank's jacket is. That's a really nice jacket.
It was a gift. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't remember who gave it to me.
It's nice.
Probably my mom.
But it's
Thanks,
a lovely
Mom.
jacket. It's a good jacket weather.
Yeah, it is.
My kids are like, I'll be like, go get your winter coat. And they're like, okay, can I wear flip-flops? And I'm like, no.
Not anymore.
Why don't you understand this? The other day, Jensen wanted to wear shorts and flip-flops, is my daughter. And I was like, go stand on the front porch for 5 minutes. She goes, I don't want to stand out there that long. It's cold. I'm like, you see my point, little girl?
It's freezing.
Give me
Summer's done.
Yeah. Let's take one call here real quick before we get to break. Mark, thanks for calling the show.
Hey, what's up, Annie?
It's good to have you
Hey,
on.
I like to consider myself a libertarian. There's a lot of reasons why, and a lot of it is conservatives now are still being the old conservatives where they were giving out stimulus packages and giving out money to people like Planned Parenthood. The reason why I say that is the omnibus bill. They signed a new omnibus bill while all that circus with Brett Kavanaugh was going on, and part of it funded Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
That's
been a platform for a long time.
Like washed my hands of what a true Republican is, and now I consider myself a libertarian. I mean, I don't like giving money that we cannot afford to causes of things that a lot of people do not agree with, like Planned Parenthood.
Do you vote Republican most of the time?
Never funded. Yeah, I typically do because of my Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the only way that I can protect it. But if there's not a strong libertarian candidate, run it. But, you know, I'm not opposed to doing a moderate Democrat, but there isn't really one out there anymore.
You got to find one first. So, yeah,
you got to find one. So, I mean, those polls are very skewed. There are a lot of libertarians that do lean right, and, you know, that they don't take them into consideration. Like you said, I got polls living here in Illinois, and you're right. No libertarian is listed. It's like we're not even a party.
Yeah. Thanks for calling the show. It's good to hear from you. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
All right, let's get a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to get to phone calls today, but I'm also going to be joined by Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaffer, who is going to talk to us about this journalist that has gone missing and Mike Pompeo's visit to Saudi Arabia. What does that mean for foreign relations? What does that mean took place? What do we know? What don't we know? What are we waiting to hear? He'll give us all the details there as well. So 314-241-9797 if you want to give us a call. We're going to get to the guest first, calls second. Facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, on Twitter @Annie Frey Show, and the live webcam at 971talk.com/Annie.
Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause the mama, I'm sure all the hand and I just around.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook, The Annie Frey Show.
I know you got another man, but I can love you better than him. Take my hand, don't be afraid, I'm gonna prove it.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
A bit of a gloomy day again across the St. Louis area as clouds control. Any rain is going to be quite limited and coming to an end. Don't expect much in the way of rain on this Monday. 40s to near 50 degrees. Tonight, crystal clear skies. Kind of a cold night with areas of frost. 35 for the low. Tuesday, tons of sunshine. 58. Quiet weather in here near 60 on Wednesday and Thursday. This is FM News Talk 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Dave Glover.
Now that it's parent-arranged, very safe play dates.
Yeah.
We were free agents.
Absolutely.
Dave Glover. Weekdays at 3 on FM News Talk 97.1.
It is a little bit after, almost 1 o'clock right now, which means that it's probably the perfect time for a Fire Creek snack stick. If you are looking for a pick-me-up, something you can take along with you, put in your purse, put in your office drawer, put in your golf bag, Fire Creek snack sticks are absolutely delicious. You can get them at Hanson's Meats or On the Run stores anywhere around this area. You can go to firecreeksnacks.com. Enter the coupon code Annie at checkout. You'll save a 15% amount, and you'll get free shipping. You'll absolutely love them. No artificial ingredients, gluten-free, soy-free, MSG-free, high protein, low sugar, super convenient. Also great for kids and grandkids. It's Fire Creek Snack Sticks. They're online at firecreeksnacks.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. By now, everyone knows that this is the perfect time to refinance. Here's why you choose to work with the Home Loan Expert team. We underwrite all of our own files, which means faster turn times. We don't have all that overhead like the big banks, which means you get a lower rate and less cost, and customer service that no one can match. We're in the office 7 days a week, working till 10 p.m. for you. Give us a call or apply online to start saving now. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
You bet Claire McCaskill fastens her seatbelt. Because she wants to keep her seat. Her Senate seat. The same seat Claire has sat in for 12 years, using government to enrich herself. like when McCaskill's family's business used their private plane as collateral for a financing deal with a bank. A month after the deal went through, McCaskill co-sponsored legislation to exempt the very same bank from regulation. The Wall Street Journal called the special carve-out for the bank, quote, disconcerting. But it was a good deal for the McCaskills and the bank. It's all part of the McCaskill money machine. The longer she's in Washington, the wealthier she gets. And we pay the price. It's time to ground Claire McCaskill. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms: frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
We've been hearing a lot about the opioid epidemic and the tragic consequences that this brutal addiction has on American families.
But less talked about has been the opioid exposure to newborn children of mothers who are addicted to opioids.
Right. In the U.S., someone dies every 12 minutes from an opioid addiction, and some studies have suggested that on average, a baby is born every 15 minutes withdrawing from opioids.
This epidemic is staggering.
It's tragic. These are newborn babies, defenseless and forced to begin life as addicts.
This is the kind of collateral damage that Big Pharma inflicts on American families in its unending drive for profits.
It's no wonder that hundreds of lawsuits have been filed across the U.S. against the makers and distributors of opioids.
If you know of an innocent child born with an opioid addiction, call the attorneys at Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
That's 1-800-RX-WATCH, or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The $1,000 political payoff. Brought to you by WeFixMoney.com. Need emergency cash? Check out WeFixMoney.com for more.
This hour's keyword is thunder.
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 Oh, or this massive truck that's outside the window right now that we were concerned about. Couldn't find
it used to be used in a sentence. I say we all have to come up with a song.
That's what happens every time for me anyway.
Nice.
There you go.
So
you had Imagine Dragons Thunder.
And you had
Thunderstruck by AC/DC. You got one?
I can't think of one right now.
Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I can't.
3:30.
You don't like that one? All right.
I like
Garth's,
but
all right. Text the word thunder to 72881. Let's do that again. 72881 by the end of the hour for your chance to win the $1,000 political payoff. That's thunder to 72881. Message and data rates apply. This is a national contest. Don't text and drive.
You're listening to the Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers water heater, duct sealing, and attic insulation services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
The Annie Frey Show.
This hour brought to you by the Rick and Tracy Ellis Real Estate Team. Heard right here on 97.1, Saturdays at 9 and Sundays at 10. Visit TracyEllis.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's good to be with you today on this Monday. Let's get straight to our guest, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaffer. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us today to lend your expertise regarding this situation with the Washington Post journalist. What can you tell us about the severity of this situation in regards to United States foreign relations right now, depending on what happens next?
Well, we have to investigate, and thank you for having me today. We have to investigate fully what exactly happened. We've used the suspension of military sales and support as a lever in the past. This worked recently with Turkey, where we were going to suspend certain things relating to to aircraft being delivered until we got our pastor back. He was returned this past weekend. So we have to do the same thing now. I'm one of those who argues that we've always got to examine Saudi Arabia as a frenemy. They're not quite a friend, not quite an enemy. They're somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And we no longer need their oil. We are a net exporter, and that's going to continue to expand. So I think we have to examine very closely what our relationship is going forward for the Saudis.
So, I don't know if there seems to be a lot of mystery around this incident, whatever took place. It seems that there's a lot of caution also. If there were to be a statement made or a jumping of the gun that something would happen, can you kind of tell us the hesitation, what is actually at stake regarding the specific details that we don't quite have yet?
Well, this is really like a bad James Bond movie in many ways. I mean, we're talking about a bunch of guys flying in from Saudi Arabia, showing up at the consulate, basically ambushing a guy, murdering him brutally, apparently, that's the theory, and leaving. And now we need to know exactly who sponsored it, why they sponsored it, did it really happen, is this a hoax, is this true? It's one big full furball full of mystery. Mm-hmm. And so a lot's at stake, though. It's not simply a murder. It's about what a country can and cannot do regarding international rules, and what did we know? And I don't honestly know at this point what, if anything, we knew in advance of what the plot was to murder this journalist. Bottom line, we can't, as much as I think this guy was doing some things which prompted the ire of the Saudi royal family, that's kind of his job. He's a journalist. No matter how we as Americans feel about that, it's our job to try to moderate any country, ally or other, from behaving in any sort of bad behavior against those trying to tell the truth as they understand it. So this puts us in a difficult position, but I'm confident in President Trump. I'm confident that he and his folks are going to work through this and try to get to the bottom of it. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, we're speaking with Colonel Anthony Schaffer here on the Annie Frey Show. I'm curious what you think will come of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's visit to speak to the Saudi Arabian king. What is he doing over there? What is he trying to understand, and what does he hope to come out of that with?
The current leadership in Saudi Arabia is fairly new. They've not been in charge more than about 2 years, and there's a lot of things going on. There are some things they're doing to liberalize society. One of those is allowing women to drive. It's a huge progress statement. But with that said, they don't allow any other religion. They're very, very, very what they call conservative in the Muslim religion, where you have to essentially believe, or else you are essentially an enemy of the state, or essentially there to provide labor. So Mike Pompeo's job is to go in and do an assessment. And look, I know Mike. Mike's a great guy. I've known him since he was a congressman, and he did well as director of CIA. He does well, and I think judging people and what they're saying. So I think he's going to get an initial feel for what's really going on behind the scenes. I mean, as much as I don't think we need the Saudis as an ally as much as we used to, we need to be cautious by the fact that they provide a lot of our friends and allies a lot of oil, which drives their economy. So again, this is not an easy equation to work.
So if we do find out that the Saudi government was behind this, they've pretty vehemently denied any responsibility here. If we do find out that they were complicit in whatever we discover took place, what does that mean for our relationship with them?
It's going to go downhill. And let's be clear here. Remember, the majority of the 9/11 hijackers were Saudis. There's a bill in the Senate now going for demanding more documents regarding the Saudi involvement in the 9/11 attacks be declassified. If you recall, Representative Walter Jones, I worked with Walter 2 years ago to try to get relief for the families to sue Saudi Arabia, as well as get other documents released. So the Saudis have always sat the fence. They've always been kind of played both sides. It's a very dangerous game. And I think if Mike Pompeo and the president come back with some level of clarity that they were behind this, there has to be consequences to the relationship and to the Saudis as a whole.
We're speaking with Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaffer with the LondonCenter.org. President Trump has no foreign policy background outside of business dealings. He doesn't have a military career to fall back on when it comes to anything like this. Does he focus very heavily on his advisors and the people who are surrounding him to advise him in what direction to go? How does Donald Trump hold this situation and make decisions?
That's an excellent question. Donald Trump goes with his instincts. Based on my direct contacts with him, I think he's a very, very instinctive man. He does try to get facts as the best facts available. And he tries to make sure that people will tell him the truth. He will yell and scream at times when he's not happy, but always he wants the truth. And so the people he's surrounded him with, again, Mike Pompeo, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Joseph Dunford, the director of CIA, Gina Haspel, I think they're all in the truth-telling business. I know for a fact that these people all tell the truth. So I think he will have the best possible information and advice to examine the facts and try to make a determination of what's best for the country going forward. And again, I don't think he'll be judging this based on politics. He's not going to triangulate based on what he thinks is going to play best in the polls or in the media forum. I think he'll see whatever he comes up with as a decision based on the facts, not on politics.
So it sounds to me like what you're saying and a lot of the other experts are saying is we just need to hold our breath right now. We need more information before we can point ourselves in a direction and start walking down that path. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm one of those, I lean towards they probably did something bad here. But I want to know what the facts are before we jump. And we need to be very certain because, this is a chess game. This is not checkers. And one move here on the board will affect other things 2 and 3 moves down the road. So it's not just about the United States. It's about our allies. But it's supplying confidence in those who do reporting that, that others cannot go and murder them because they're trying to do what they're supposed to do.
Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaffer, thank you so much for your insight today. We really do appreciate it.
Sure, thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you soon. LondonCenter.org for more information from them. Your phone calls when we come back, 314-241-9797.
It says here Missouri has over 2,000 bridges rated in poor or weight-restricted condition.
And getting more dangerous every day for our kids, school buses, and emergency vehicles to cross.
It says that's why Prop D is on the ballot. The gas tax was last increased 22 years ago. Inflation's eroded 60% of its buying power.
We couldn't live on what we made in 1996.
Exactly. And Prop D funds have to be regularly audited and constitutionally designated, so the money can only go to maintaining and improving our roads and bridges, and for state law enforcement. They risk their lives for us every day.
No question. Prop D road and bridge improvements will grow the economy, reduce vehicle maintenance costs,
and return $1 billion in already budgeted federal matching funds for our road and bridge improvements. Prop D's a solid investment for us, only costing the typical Missourian about $1.25 a month in the first year and just $5 a month after 4 years.
Yes, on Prop D, paid for by SaferMode.com.
Club Store outlet at 9981 Manchester in St. Louis, online at clubstoreusa.com, is a must-stop shop if you are looking for pretty much anything. If you're going out on a Saturday or if you do your shopping on a Wednesday or whatever you do, go to Club Store outlet first and save money. I love saving money. I think it's fun to go find deals and shop where you can save money. It helps you spend it somewhere else or pay down debt or whatever the case might be. But Club Store Outlet has overstock from big box stores that you shop at all the time or shelf pulls, things that are still perfectly fine to use. Maybe the the packaging is a little bit torn in one place, but the product is absolutely okay. And then there's other stuff that I don't know why it's not on the shelves at the original store to begin with. It's Club Store Outlet at 9981 Manchester. Make sure when you go there, you tell them the folks at the Annie Frey Show say hello. You can visit them online anytime at clubstoreusa.com.
Football season only lasts a few months each year, and Regions doesn't want anything to get between you and the game you love, especially not a lost or stolen card. With Lock It, all it takes is a few quick taps on your Regions mobile app to lock your card before you even report the problem. Lock It also lets you block ATM withdrawals, online purchases, or in-store purchases. Lock some or all of your controls and take control of your cards. Need to unlock for a purchase? You can change your settings in an instant. Lock It works with your Regions personal check card, credit card, or prepaid now card. It's a little extra peace of mind that lets you focus on game day. We get it. Some things are bigger than banking. Learn more at regions.com/lockit. Regions, member FDIC, data fees may apply.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1,
a radio.com station.
Miles of destruction. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump taking an aerial tour around where Hurricane Michael made landfall, devastating the Florida Panhandle. Also visiting a distribution center as recovery efforts move forward. He's been praising Governor Rick Scott's efforts to work with FEMA.
The job they've done in Florida has been incredible, and likewise I'm hearing in Georgia very good things.
The President and First Lady also planning to take a first-hand look at the damage in Georgia, and he's been tweeting about Alabama and the Carolinas. Michael's blamed for at least 19 deaths in all in several states, including Virginia. Drastic measures to help prevent wildfires in Northern California. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal following this live in L.A.
Lisa, Pacific Gas and Electric shut off the power for 59,000 customers in several counties, some of them among the hardest hit during last year's devastating wildfires. Investigators have since attributed several of those fire starts, to PG&E equipment. Company spokesman Paul Doherty says it's the first time they've ever shut off the power like this, but with the extremely dry, windy conditions right now, they felt they had to.
And as we saw with last year's wildfires, we must do even more in partnership with our customers, with civic leaders, with the communities, and with the first responders.
And Doherty says they're reaching out to help customers who need electricity for medical equipment until their power is back on, Lisa.
Thanks, Jessica. The once mighty Sears files for bankruptcy.
Immediately, 46 stores closed, but 142 more by the end of the year. A bankruptcy loan of about $1.8 billion to continue operations through Christmas. If you want to save Sears, maybe go buy something there for Christmas.
Fox Business Network's Jeff Flog outside the original Sears Tower in Chicago. CEO Eddie Lampert stepping down as part of the bankruptcy process. This is Fox News.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-509-1667. That's 800-509-1667. 800-509-1667. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
97.1 News Time 103. Good afternoon. I'm Tony Colombo. With nearly $30 million in renovations underway on the outside of the Missouri Capitol, attention is turning toward an expensive and lengthy project to upgrade the interior of the building. The Post-Dispatch reports a consultant hired to oversee the renovation project told state officials this week that the interior work could take as long as 7 years, and he won't have cost estimates until the end of the year. The Mississippi River is rising in eastern Missouri as water levels along the Missouri River fall. The National Weather Service says flood walls are expected to close as the Mississippi River crests tomorrow in St. Louis and Friday in Cape Girardeau, although no serious flooding is expected in either city. Along the Missouri River, water levels are falling quickly, easing pressure on the levees that protect farmland. This news update brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms.
Check out the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's digital editor, Megan Crane. Ground Game is a weekly conversation with AP reporters and guests about the top political issues around the country ahead of this year's midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts.
Do you know the number one mistake retirees and pre-retirees are making with their retirement accounts? Do you know about the hidden fees inside of your mutual funds and 401ks? Do you also know the best strategy to shift from accumulation to income and preservation of assets? This is Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'd like to show you the kind of lifestyle your retirement accounts can provide, whether you're retiring now or even in the next 5 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll design your own personalized, structured income plan that will show you exactly the amount of income you can count on. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my best-selling book, The Boomer's Guide to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees achieve a worry-free retirement for over 31 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Hey, Tim Jones here from my guys at Universal Windows Direct. You know if you need new windows. If your windows are moldy, ugly, fogged up, drafty, or worse, listen, winter's coming, and it's supposed to be a doozy. Don't suffer through one more winter in a cold, drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. They've got that patented foam super spacer technology created by NASA, creates a better seal than traditional metal spacers. Your windows are going to last longer. You save money on your energy bills. New windows from Universal will make your home more beautiful. Everyone's custom made for your home, from wood trim to premium vinyl, the added security of cam-style locks. It's like looking at a brand new home, all backed up by the true lifetime warranty, covered for as long as you own your home, plus 30 years to the next homeowner. For every window you buy, the next one's free. There's no limits. 0% financing for 36 months, all backed up by that true lifetime warranty. Call to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 314-878-0300. That's 314-878-0300. Or go to universalwindowsstlouis.com. That's universalwindowsstlouis.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Now at Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, save big on Cooper tires. Buy 3 qualifying tires, get the 4th free. Plus, get a $70 rebate when you buy 4 select Cooper tires. Combine the offers for extra savings on Cooper tires. Now at Dobbs. Limited time offer. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Dan for Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, here to share the easiest way to choose your next set of tires. Come to Dobbs. Our expert tire professionals will make your tire buying experience as easy as it should be. We'll work with you to find the best tire that's right for your vehicle, that fits your driving style, at a price that's in line with your budget. And they'll be expertly installed by Dobbs professional tire technicians. Plus, at Dobbs, we have the biggest inventory of the best tire brands, which means you'll get your tires the same day. Best of all, at Dobbs, you'll get your new tires at the lowest price in town, guaranteed. For easy tire buying, make it easy on yourself. Come to Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app. Available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
The way we implement change in America is through elections. We change governments here at home in an orderly and formal way.
And in that orderly and formal way and lawful way, we need to overthrow the government of the United States under Donald Trump.
What?
It all sounded okay up until...
Orderly and lawfully overthrow the government. Say please. Say thank you. Have a nice day. Thanks for coming. We are overthrowing you.
Good day, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing.
Alec Baldwin, everyone. I know that you've been really dying to hear what Alec Baldwin lately thinks about President Trump and the state of the nation. It's still kooky, and he wants an orderly overthrowing of the government. You know what? We kind of do that every 4 years in an election.
Remember that time that he said he could beat Donald Trump if he was running for president?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Go for it.
Goodbye.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll be making like Stephen Colbert montages of me going, do it. I dare you. Wasn't that Stephen Colbert? Or that was... No.
Who was that?
This is the other one that's not funny. Who's the other one? I don't know. He's...
Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Kimmel?
Oh, can't be Jimmy Fallon.
No. All very political.
Oh,
Late night with...
Oh, the Trevor, whatever his name is, the Daily Show
John
guy?
Oliver.
Yes.
Oh, John Oliver.
Thank you.
Woo!
People all over St. Louis are going, John Oliver! It's John Oliver!
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think.
Popular
I don't think they were
and
on.
unfunny. It's
I don't think they were
amazing
on
that we
that.
couldn't come up with his name. No, I mean, like, if you're ever having a sad, down day, if you're frustrated at work, if you're hangry, it's 1:10,
It's real.
and you're thinking right now about lunch, and you've put it off because you've got a stack of papers on your desk and it's Monday, stop everything and pull up the YouTube montage of all of the people talking about how Donald Trump can't win and laughing at him. That segues beautifully into the election night meltdown where Rachel Maddow has she always does. She's always so defeated. She has her elbow on the anchor desk and her head half in her hands, and she's like, "You're not asleep. This is real life, people.
This is your life.
Donald Trump is going to be the president of the United States." And then she just stares blankly into the camera for like 15 extremely uncomfortable seconds. It's like, yeah, we know. Don't look directly at her.
A lot of people just voted for him. We know.
Yeah. It's the pick-me-up that you might need on a Monday afternoon. We'll find the video and share it on the Facebook page. Facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. I want to get to some phone calls here. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or toll free at 866-455-9797. Here's Hillary Clinton.
Do you think Bill should have resigned in the wake of the Monica Lewinsky scandal?
Absolutely not.
It wasn't an abuse of power?
No.
There are people who look at the incidents of the 90s and they say a president of the United States cannot have a consensual relationship with an intern. The power imbalance is too
Who was
great.
an adult. But let me ask you this. Where's the investigation of the current incumbent against whom numerous allegations have been made?
Where is it? Where's my bell? She did it. Don't pay any attention to Bill. The question, it's Hillary Clinton, and the question is about Bill Clinton. It's within the purview of the interviewer's ability to ask questions when you're talking about, being the leader of women, because she was appointed by herself to do that, and talking about Bill Clinton, who she just says that Monica Lewinsky was an adult? What? Oh, okay. So if Monica Lewinsky, an intern, was she like 23?
She was 22.
22? 22 years old. That's like an infant.
Yeah.
In the course of somewhere, I don't know where the median start to make good decisions point in most adult lives is. It's not at 22.
No.
And I say this as somebody who got married at 23. It was a good decision. Still very happy. 11 years later. Very happy. 3 children.
22-year-old intern at the White House, and Hillary Clinton said that she would not be influenced by a person just because they were president of the United States.
It's mind blowing how Hillary can so acrobatically talk out of both sides of her mouth. How she can say, and I will not be answering that question right now. So Donald Trump, where's the investigation in him? Oh, yeah, we're talking about Donald Trump now. That's right.
Switch it up.
The truth of the matter is that if Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, somebody in the Oval Office, she would be out of her mind. And they'd probably have the right to go after him. I mean, they should. They should have done it for Bill Clinton, but they'd probably have now the actual proof and the substance behind what they've been trying to go after him for so long. That is the part that makes so many people so upset. I know that we talk about double standards all the time. We talk about flip tests an awful lot. I don't know. I could give myself maybe the rest of this hour to try to figure out where this isn't the case. But I don't know a scenario where Republicans get the benefit of the doubt in anything. What am I missing? Tony, Katie, anything? Where the Republicans, it's like, well, if this were a Democrat doing this, they'd be getting treated horribly. I don't see it. And that is why the responsibility and the onus for the entire blame of why we had a Barack Obama-like presidency and why we now have a Donald Trump-like presidency, both of them extremely polarized the country. And if you think that Barack Obama didn't polarize the country as much as Donald Trump did, then you're not paying enough attention. It's because of the media. There's truth. There are things that are happening every day that exist in a complete and total state of truth. The question is, how do you find out about them? There has to be a messenger between the events that are actually taking place, with the people actually involved, with the words that are actually said, and the intentions that are actually made. Then there's the person who is to report on that to you, sitting in the middle of the country, pushing papers around a desk, trying to find a YouTube video of the meltdown of 2016 to make your day better. It's the responsibility of the media to provide you also an adult with the factual information, because guess what? You are capable of hearing factual information that has not been laundered through an agenda-driven media and make a decision for yourself. And that's why Donald Trump is winning, because he tells us these things. And at first, you kind of lean back and you go, ooh, that was abrasive. But then you get to react to it because you have the truth as you know it. Fully transparent from this president, what his intentions are, what his goals are, what his actions are, what his thoughts are. Almost to the point of a fault. Okay, probably to the point of a fault. But he's treating us like grown adults. Mm-hmm. Barack Obama wants you to behave as a needy child that knows that the government is there to provide all of the necessities of your life, because then that empowers government. The religion of this fringe left is government. That's why they love socialism. The idea of capitalism is the opposite of that. The socialism is what empowers the people who become elected, who get in the inner circle and get to be the kingmakers, get to be the ones that are on the elite other side, where they decide who wins and who loses. They don't want everybody to be winners. They want to be able to pick the losers. And they want the losers to be the ones who oppose them. And they want to have that power consolidated in government in order to be able to do that. It's a very, very dangerous thing for the future. Bill, thanks for calling the show.
Thanks for taking my call, Annie. Sure. Hillary Clinton saying that, number one, all the accusers of Donald Trump are well into adulthood. One of them is a porn actress. Hello.
Yeah.
If the interviewer had any guts at all, he would have said, well, wait a minute. None of Donald Trump's people were interns in the White House. And I called you last week and said the best thing to do with Hillary is to ignore her.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I think she should just keep talking along with Holder and along with all the other sycophant leftists until after the election. Then we can start ignoring them again.
Yeah. I don't think she's doing, it's... Somebody on the Facebook page sent me a little meme or whatever, and it showed a picture of Hillary Clinton. It says, I've fallen and I can't, or I've lost and I can't shut up. And see,
and that's exactly the truth.
It made me laugh, too.
I don't want her to shut up. Wait about a month and a half, Hillary. then shut up, or if you can't shut up, we'll just ignore you at that point. But as of right now, keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
All right, Bill, call back in and tell us when it's time to tell Hillary to shut up again, because she's listening. Appreciate that. It's just, you listen to these people, Alec Baldwin talking about law and order and then talking about how it's time to overthrow President Trump. You get to do that in an election. Every 4 years, we have the possibility of drastically changing our government. That's a pretty special thing. To be a country that is this powerful, where we can change our leader of the whole country every 4 years, a third of I would say a half of the legislative branch every 2 years, and a third of the Senate changes every 2 years. And yet here we are with this success. The reason why we're good at this is because it's you. You're the taxpayer. This country is running off of your labor and my labor and our efforts and our ability to say every 4 years, I've had enough of this guy, I've had enough of this girl, I'm going to change it. And you go vote, and if the majority of the people think alike, I'm going to qualify that with the Electoral College before I get people going, the majority of the people.
No.
If that's the way it works, and we get to change our government out regularly, early and often, and we're still successful, that is such a good thing. Which is why everybody wants to freak out about Make America Great Again and how scary that thought is, because because Donald Trump is a Republican, that means he wants to go back to slavery times, obviously. That is so heinously stupid. So stupid. You know what is offensive? Hope and change. The fact that America cannot be great until we change it. And that Barack Obama was the hope for that. The hope for it on the promise of fundamentally transforming the United States of America. These are all his words, folks, and you know it. You've heard it before. When he talks about hope and change, he wanted to change the country. He was successful in doing so. We're trying to fix healthcare right now that everybody wants to pin on Republicans when the Democrats are the one who destroyed it in the first place. It needed to be fixed, but when you take it into a massive endeavor controlled by the government in 2010 or whenever the Affordable Care Act passed, when you go there, now we've got to fix something that we didn't like in the first place. That's not on Republicans' hands. Barack Obama wanted to fundamentally transform the United States. He wanted to change it. He was giving hope to people by virtue of changing it, which is why when Donald Trump says, make America great again, he's saying change it back. Not to the 1920s, not to the 1850s, to before Barack Obama came in and peddled socialism through our country and gave people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez a platform to come out and be like, you're right, I'm a socialist, and Cynthia Nixon and all these other kooks, and Bernie Sanders. That's what Americans are not wanting. That's why they support this president, and they appreciate the fact that he gives them truth. All right, Rick, Vicky, Brad, you guys are up next. One phone line open, 314-241-9797. Your phone calls as soon as we return.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Hey guys, it's time again for the DGS Halloween Show. Go to 971talk.com/Halloween. Check out all the investigations that we've done over the years, from the Limp Mansion to the Exorcist House to the Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton. See it all at 971talk.com/Halloween, brought to you by New Vodka.
Don't forget to tune into the Sheen Vane Minute every Wednesday morning on FM News Talk 97.1 at 8:16. Dr. Sheen of the Sheen Vane Institute will be your guide to healthier legs. For more information, please go to thesheenvaneinstitute.com. Let the Sheen Vane Institute help change your life.
Dentistry with TLC and Dr. Anna Smith. Love our veterans. So do we here at the Annie Frey Show. It's always great to have an opportunity to give back even a fraction, just such a small fraction of what has been given to us for people who have fought to protect this country, who have fought to serve, who have sacrificed so much so that we can continue to have the freedom that we have here in the United States. Dr. Anna Smith is proud to have October and November be the TLC Loves Veterans Months. She has a giveaway right now and a 15% off all services for all veterans in both October and November. If you're looking for getting your dental work done and you've been putting it off right now for a while and you are a veteran, now is the time to get in with Dr. Anna Smith and Dentistry with TLC. You can call her, you can text her at 618-466-0733. That's 618-466-0733, and get something scheduled. You can also check out their Facebook page, message them through their Facebook page, online at Dentistry with TLC, and also email office@dentistrywithtlc.com. You can visit them online anytime at dentistrywithtlc.com or cpapsucks.com.
Head to Mid-America Arms. From firearms to accessories, you won't find a better selection in Mid-America, including guns, rifles, knives, ammo, holsters, cases, and more. From Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Glock, Benelli, Sig Sauer, and others. Ask their no-commission sales assistants about their trade-in policy, transfers, rebates, and info about concealed carry and basic firearms training. Mid-America Arms, 8205 Gravois Road, and at midamericaarms.com. That's midamericaarms.com.
Dear beloved home, over our years, we've experienced many of life's changes together. Our lives have changed, and we've made changes to you as well. Now, as we pulled into our driveway at the end of a long day, we had noticed it was time for a makeover. Exteriors by Mosby provided us a broad range of options for new windows and siding that let us love your outside as much as we love your inside. With Exteriors by Mosby, we're taking as good care of you as you care for us.
Call 909-8383 or visit exteriorsbymosby.com. Exteriors by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
I'm not an actor. What you're about to hear is my real story, no fluff.
Missourian Nancy Geiler.
My husband, Dan, is a good man and a great father. He's our rock.
But Dan's diabetes medicine costs over $2,000 a month.
That's a fortune to us. We've had to borrow from family, max out credit cards, and skip doses of Dan's insulin. We reached out to both our senators, but only one responded.
It was Claire McCaskill.
She listened and made us a priority.
Claire McCaskill is cracking down on greedy drug companies. She worked with both parties to pass a law that speeds up approvals of less expensive generic drugs. Josh Hawley's trying to let insurance companies stop covering any of the cost of prescriptions.
A lot of politicians talk. Claire McCaskill fights for us.
Paid for by Patients for Affordable Drugs Action, who is responsible for the content of this advertising. www.p4adaction.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
If you're retiring in the next 5 years, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with Stifel and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday from 11 till noon on FM News Talk 97.1. Retirement is a huge step, and when it comes to investing your retirement assets, you can't afford to make mistakes. It's vitally important that you work with an experienced professional to guide you through important retirement decisions. If you're retiring soon, we should meet to develop a clear plan for your retirement goals. Your meeting is an opportunity to understand your retirement situation and discuss how you can proceed. Of course, your consultation is free of charge and requires no obligation on your part. If you're retiring in the next 5 years, now is the time to start planning. To schedule your free retirement plan review, visit bobstockdale.com or call me at 636-448-7655. That's bobstockdale.com or 636-448-7655. Stifel, member FINRA, SIPC, and NYSE.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Tuesday, why does Governor Parson want to raise gas taxes by 10 cents a gallon? He'll be in studio to make his case. Plus, Dr. Randy Tobler and Chris Arps.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
In constant sorrow through his day, I am a man of constant sorrow.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
All my day.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised.
So if you're not watching the webcam, you're really missing out.
He's laughing at
You can.
Tony and Katie
read lips.
reenacting individual experiences of being out late night, getting your cheeseburger order wrong. From what I understand, all I can tell you is that Tony appreciates the removal of onions on his cheeseburgers at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And by appreciates, I mean demands.
They must be off the
And
cheeseburger.
Katie likes a little ramen noodle
at 1:30 in the morning.
1:30 in the morning.
Come on, David, if you're listening.
None of it's too much to ask for.
971talk.com/Annie. And you can, is the live stream up on the website?
Mm-hmm.
I should look that before I find out. Yeah, Katie's waving. You can watch the show there. If you have a smart TV, you can actually watch us through the YouTube app. That's kind of fun. I do that with the Mark Crock's morning show sometimes when I'm getting ready. Pull it up, and instead of, if I don't have a radio accessible, you can watch it on YouTube. So 971talk.com/Annie, and you can watch Katie reenact her rage.
When her ramen
noodles wasn't prepared adequately or in a timely fashion.
That is the definition of hangry. At 1:30 in the morning when you're hungry and nothing's made, I'm like, ooh, it's time to go down. It's going down, David.
It's weird. Sounds like something Hillary Clinton would be mad about. You get hit by a lamp.
I find it to be completely reasonable.
I'm going to get to these phone calls here in just a second. 314-241-9797. So hold on a second. I'm going to get to you. But we haven't talked about Omarosa in a while. And we said last week that it was Omarosa's turn. Where's she been? Where are you at, Omarosa?
Ivanka and Jared. What is?
Call them White House Ken and White House Barbie. Oh.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
White House Ken and Barbie.
That's what we call them. Who's we?
Yeah. You're not in the White House, chicks.
Yeah.
You're not there.
Girl, you're not a part of it anymore.
No. And just she came like her coming out with those recordings was like everybody was like, "Ooh, I wonder what she has access to." I don't even know where she's been. I don't know what she's doing. I also don't care.
Yeah, she underestimated the news cycle so much because she thought she was going to be
people's
the biggest...
ability to care about what the heck she's talking about.
True. It's so true.
It's kind of crazy. All right, Brad, thanks for calling the show.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Annie, just got something real quick that Omarosa is not going to work for Disney. They're making a new cut of 101 Dalmatians, and she's a Quilla DeVille.
Okay.
But anyway, what I called about is I've always tried to come up with something factual that's wrong with the left. And I know this, that God designed you and me and every human being with his logic and his reasoning. And you can tell from what the Democrats say and do and how they treat people that they are not operating with God's logic or God's reasoning. And that's why they're so whack. That's why socialism has never worked anywhere in this world.
Yeah. It's like, point me in the direction of where there's a successful example of this, and then we'll go follow that. But it's not there. It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist because it was never meant to exist.
Yeah.
So that was my comment.
Thank you for calling, Brad. Appreciate it. Vicky, thanks for calling the show.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. My comment, well, I have a couple comments, but one, you were talking about the Hillary situation. I just think that if Donald Trump had dated a consenting adult and had a relationship with interns, they would just be outraged. I mean, that would just
totally outraged.
That's such a crazy, irrational standard for that. And then last night on the is it Leslie Sawyer, the one that did the interview against Trump?
Leslie Stoll.
Yeah,
Stoll. Sorry, that's right. I just thought she was a little digging far to go, trying to get him to state that he loves, Kim Jong-un, and he really was just basically he's trying to have a relationship with them so they don't do more damage and more, And I think some people, I guess it became clear that she was trying to kind of railroad him into saying something, and I thought that was unfortunate.
And when Donald Trump goes into these interviews, he knows the whole thing is that if it's a success for the folks at 60 Minutes or whatever interview he goes in, that it will be a successful railroad. So it's always interesting to me to watch him place himself in dangerous territory and talk to the people who he should be talking to, and the way he is able to maintain his confidence and really kind of overtake the interview to make sure that they don't get to drive right over him. I think it's impressive.
But I thought he did pretty well, and I do think he does make me laugh when he says something like, "And that's why I'm president and you're not." I thought that was funny.
Did you like that about him, in the primaries in 2016? Or have you come to like that?
I just come to appreciate that. I mean, I just know sometimes he goes too far. He's not always articulate. But I mean, and I do think, I don't know, he doesn't always say everything perfect, but I do think I think he's using his business savvy, and he's really motivated to do the right things in our country. So that's nice. And it does frustrate me to the point of all the other things. Like you say, I'd like to watch late night TV, and you can't watch late night TV and watch actors and actresses that you want to talk to, because you get on there and it's just, I feel like they go so far overboard of not respecting the president, and they can make fun of his hair and all that stuff, but they just go so overboard.
It's hateful. It's not funny. It's hateful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I don't think they ever did that to Barack Obama and his wife. And
no, absolutely not.
And that's the stuff that gets frustrating. It's like, pull it back a little bit. Can't anyone on the Democratic side see that they're just pushing the envelope too far in a negative spin?
Yeah.
That's my comment.
Vicki, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Sure.
And one of the things that Vicki said there is she wants the Democrats to understand that they're pushing it too far. This Democratic Party right now doesn't think it's being pushed far enough. They don't feel as though that the anger and the vitriol that, quote unquote, Americans are feeling right now is evident enough in the mainstream. It's like, are you kidding me? How angry do we need to be? What actually needs to take place in order for the level of actual anger and hatred for this president, and specifically what he stands for? What are we waiting to experience? Because it's out there. There's a lot of stuff going on right now that is pretty evident of how much the entire body on the left that is in front and center that speaks for the Democratic Party, how much they hate this president. Rick, thanks for holding. It's good to have you on the show. Thanks for calling.
How you doing, Annie?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. Anytime you want to come, I heard last week when I was out of town, anytime you want to ride and listen to my customers and my Uber and Lyft, you're more than welcome.
Awesome. I love it.
You're welcome. But I've got a few comments since I've been listening to what you said, and that I'm tired of hearing these commercials. First of all, I'm proud to be a Republican, and I'm damn proud to be an American. I want, people ought to be proud of their country in that. But, I'm tired of Claire McCann, all these commercials you hear about medicine being high. She brought Michael J. Fox on 6 years ago, took him off his meds, and used that with the winter campaign. Now she's using all these people that need insulin and all that. I have 3 of us in our family that are diabetic. You make one phone call to the drug companies, and you're $1,000, because I know if I had to pay for my medicine, it'd be well over $3,000. We pay $198 because we called the drug companies, and they send you these things for $25, and they're good for a year.
And you do this, you do this. This isn't something you heard. You're doing this.
No, I do this. My insulin right now, I got 2 children that are type 1 diabetic. They don't know whether I'm type 1 or type 2. They keep on going back and forth. But we're all on 2 insulins, and we've got other medicine that they put on you. And our total medicine for all of us, and now our insulins and all that, are like, we get $5 for the one insulin. That's what it costs for us for a month, for each one of us. And it's $25 for the other insulin. So when people are paying these $1,000, it drives me crazy. And I'm telling you, people that are listening, call the drug manufacturer. They will send you a voucher so you can use. And, I'm tired of it, but
yeah,
they use the same commercials over and over. And another thing that I called about I really feel that we're going to pick up. I travel a lot, so I get to hear your show when I'm in town, Uber and lifting.
Mm-hmm.
But when we had the last election, I used to call all the shows, and I told the states where you're going to win because I talked to people of all ages, all colors, and whether they're Republican, Democrat. But we're going to pick up 7, possibly 8 seats in the Senate.
Wow.
If we can win the seat, and I know people said they laughed at me last time when I said Trump was going to win states that he won. But I talked to a lot of people, and I do a survey, which I think you got to pick all ages and everything else, go through and all types of people. And I think we're going to pick up probably possibly 9 seats in the House. And I will call you afterwards.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I talk to people all the time, and I heard a lady today that actually watched the interview. I didn't get to watch the interview, and she thought, these are. I pick up a lot of people, the same people that I've been trying to convert, and I'm going to tell you, people are going to be shocked. I say we end up with about 28% of the African American vote in this election, and I think you're going to see women voting a little bit more because people are afraid to come out and say things. But if you sit down and talk to them one-on-one, a lot of people love Trump. They really do. And they didn't at first, but they're coming to like him. But shows like yours and around the country, other shows, it's because of you guys that people are able to hear the truth and to be able to make their own opinion. So you guys got to keep going like you're going because you guys are helping make America great by doing what you do. Thank you.
Rick, that's great. Can I put you on hold so that my call screener can get your information so we can contact you?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to put you on hold now. Thank you so much for the call. It's good to talk to you again, Rick.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. I love that because that it just seemed to me like in the 2016 election, there were so many polls going on. Obviously, the polls that existed weren't very good at all. There's this separation in contact between the actual people, what they're willing to tell people in polls, what they're willing to admit to, and people still don't want to come out with it and say, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Trump. It's still taboo to do it. You lose family members over it. You lose friends over it, lifetime friends. So it's easier to just not go there. But what you do in a ballot box is completely different. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk with Jared Halperin, who's with Fox News Radio, and get the lay of the land, just like what Rick was talking about right now. What is the balance of powers right now in the midterms, and how are the midterms looking? We'll see what Jared's opinion is it compared to Rick's, what he's talking to people on a regular basis while he drives his Uber around town. And more phone calls from you, 314-241-9797. Stay tuned. A lot more Annie Frey Show headed your way.
Bid farewell to old Kentucky. This is the Annie Frey Show. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
The place where he was born and raised.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
A bit of a gloomy day again across the St. Louis area as clouds control. Any rain is going to be quite limited and coming to an end. Don't expect much in the way of rain on this Monday. 40s to near 50 degrees. Tonight, crystal clear skies. Kind of a cold night with areas of frost. 35 for the low. Tuesday, tons of sunshine. 58. Quiet weather in here near 60 on Wednesday and Thursday. This is FM News Talk 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
October at the Range St. Louis West is a great time to be a member of the Range, but also this coming October 27th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., they are celebrating their 3rd annual Customer Appreciation Day. You can bring in a canned good or canned goods for Operation Food Search and get an entry into the free 3-gun giveaway. They have free lane and simulator rentals, and the St. Louis SWAT and K9 will be there as well. Prize, raffles, and special offers to say thanks to you, the customer. Now, that's if you've been there before, then you know all those things about how great the Range St. Louis West is. But if you haven't been there yet, you need to go in and you need to check them out. Walk in and say, hey, I heard about you guys on the Annie Frey Show, but I want you to show me around. I want you to show me all the assets you have here. You will be blown away. They are absolutely top-notch when it comes to having the products that you want, having the merchandise that you want, having the training and the experience and the expertise to all things personal protection. It's all right there for you at the Range St. Louis West. You can find them located at 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin, right across from Vlasis Park. They're online anytime at therangestl.com.
If you've been contacted for past due tax debt, garnishments, levies, and liens, remember the Constitution affords you due process before this can happen. Hi, I'm local tax attorney Lance Drury, and I've helped hundreds of individuals and small businesses resolve their disputes with the Missouri Department of Revenue and the IRS. I have more than 30 years of legal experience, and I know your rights. Schedule your appointment today and let's meet face-to-face to go over my 8-point plan. My strategy is to get you the lowest settlement allowed by law. My firm and I will handle the filing and negotiations for you or on your business's behalf. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we want to make sure that you're satisfied with the outcome. So call me now, Tax Resolution Attorney Lance Drury, at 314-238-7360, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com. That's Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
A lot of nasal congestion, especially at night, facial pain, pressure.
Cynthia suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She was fed up.
I was in my primary care physician's office, and she was prescribing another course of antibiotics. And I think at that moment, I just thought, this is ridiculous. There has to be some other option.
She set an appointment with Dr. James Gould at the St. Louis Sinus Center. Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office called balloon sinuplasty.
I was home within a few hours and back to work the next morning. I could breathe so much easier, especially with activity, and at night being able to sleep a lot better. My energy level was increased, being a mom and being able to be more active with my little one. At least to me, that was the most important thing.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections? Set an appointment today with Dr. James Gould at the St. Louis Sinus Center. Call 314-449-8761. 449-8761. That's 449-8761.
Here's Aaron Gruff, owner of the Sucrose Bakery in St. Charles, Missouri.
As a small business owner, I know how important every single customer is. That's exactly why I'm supporting a gradual, reasonable increase to Missouri's minimum wage. It's a win-win for our state. It gives hardworking people a little more money to cover their basic needs, but it also means more money to spend in businesses like mine.
Like hundreds of business owners across Missouri, Aaron knows that increasing the minimum wage means more customers for small businesses, which also means more hiring and more jobs. It's not surprising that the Chamber of Commerce's polling finds that 80% of businesses support increasing the minimum wage. Because when working families do well, Missouri thrives. Support small businesses. Vote yes on Prop B. Paid for by Raise Up Missouri.
The $1,000 political payoff. Brought to you by WeFixMoney.com. Need emergency cash? Check out WeFixMoney.com for more.
This hour's keyword is radio.
Nice.
Woo. We're on the radio.
We love the radio.
Got a song with radio?
Video killed the radio.
There you
that
go.
Was mine.
Radiohead.
Radiohead.
It's a good artist.
They
You
have
got
songs.
one?
Dang it, that was mine. I was thinking about that over and over again. Ugh.
REM has a song called Radio Song.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Gosh, Tony.
Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga by Queen. Text the word radio text the word radio to 72881 by the end of the hour for your chance to win the $1,000 political payoff. That's radio to 72881. Message and data rates apply. One national entry will be drawn. For complete rules, visit 971talk.com/rules.
This high-stakes political battle.
Fight for America's soul.
We gotta fight like hell.
The news of the day.
Take control of the House.
Take back the Senate.
Every day.
Power.
That's what the election is about.
FM News Talk.
Back and forth till November.
97.1.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Don't think you can afford a new heating and cooling system? You can with 0% financing for 24 to 72 months on select heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me. We can't make any promises now.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
You can make me.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Dive bar on the east side, where you at? Phone lights at my nightstand in the black. Come here, you can meet me in the back. Dark jeans and your Nikes, look at you.
Do you think that she has decided that she is willing to take on President Trump and that this is what she's going to do, that she'll come out swinging?
Yeah, that's Elizabeth's actual approach and tactic on everything. She doesn't back off, and that's why Wall Street gets so nervous when she starts talking. But I'll just tell you, I've watched her. She is carefully reaching out to people in Illinois, my home state. Democrats who win elections get election night calls from Elizabeth Warren. Those are no accident. Those people who are looking forward to perhaps expanding their political horizon make phone calls to winners on election night.
She's positioning herself.
Absolutely.
Dick Durbin reacting to Elizabeth Warren positioning herself for 2020. But before 2020, we have the midterms. Here to talk to us about that is Fox News radio contributor Jared Halperin. Jared, thanks for joining us today. It's good to talk to you.
Sure.
So we have the midterm. It's just weeks away. Where do we sit right now with the balance of powers and how things are looking as we approach the big day?
Well, I'm not sure that the big picture has changed a lot. I mean, we'll see what this polling looks like as it gets closer and closer, but I still think the conventional wisdom would show that Democrats are in a good position in the House. We'll see if they have enough to take back the House, and the Republicans are probably in a good position in the Senate. Largely based on sort of geography and just where these races are, right? We've talked a lot about the number of seats that Democrats find themselves defending in these states that President Trump won and remains popular. And obviously in the House, it's a much different sort of challenge for Republicans trying to sort of overcome history, right? In that the party out of power tends to do pretty well in these off-year elections.
So a lot of people have associated the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings with a bump for Republicans. Are we seeing that in real time with polls?
I think you might be. I wonder what the sustainability is. I do think that there was a lot of enthusiasm from Republicans in that confirmation process, and maybe it did energize conservatives in a way that they had not been yet, especially when you talk about that gap in enthusiasm that Democrats seem to have the advantage of. Now, that being said, that confirmation's over. In some ways, I don't know what that means as far as the enthusiasm. Once the ball game's over, how long are you excited about?
Sure. Yeah, I agree. We'll have to wait and see. I know that there have been quite.
But I think they were successful in raising, profiles of people, probably raising money as well. And that's helpful in election years, too.
Yes, yeah, so close to the actual election itself. We've seen Trump at a lot of rallies. Are we seeing the benefit from President Trump still showing up in these locations? They're very carefully selected locations.
That's a big question. I don't know the answer. I don't think we will know until the election. Obviously, President Trump is aware of the history, and he's talked about that. And so he has done what he did in 2016, which is show up and draw these huge rallies. And sometimes the candidate that he is at the rally for becomes an afterthought. But, again, I think it's about enthusiasm. I think it's about trying to get his coalition, his base out there, which is obviously something that is a challenge not just for this president, but for every president. President Obama had a hard time getting out his base when President Obama wasn't on the ballot. That's the challenge for presidents, particularly, I think, more so when you have a president like Trump who brought together a different type of coalition in states and in these areas that had not really been tested before. So this will be a good test of that sort of Trump base and how reliable they are for the Republican Party versus how reliable they are for the president specifically.
Is Trump's action, his participation level, unprecedented at all in a midterm election, or is this just depending on the president and the mood of the time, it just kind of varies?
No, I think you see presidents, particularly recent presidents, get involved in midterms. They understand what's at stake, particularly if you have the House or the Senate at risk, which is the landscape right now. Obviously, conditions are going to dictate, the level I think that the president is involved in. But I remember President Obama on the midterm trail in 2010. Remember that sort of became sort of how this has become sort of a referendum on the Trump policies. That was a referendum on the Obama policies, the Affordable Care Act. And so I think presidents do understand that, and you do see them go out and again, try and, beat back the conventional wisdom of history, and also try and it is about enthusiasm. It is trying to get your base to go out and vote for the candidates you want them to, even though your name's not on the ballot. And so we'll see if President Trump's able to do that. Certainly there are going to be a few races early on that I think might help tell that story.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it as approaches. Certainly a lot can change between now and then, every day, throughout the day. Yeah. So we'll wait and see.
Probably another couple hundred news cycles between now and election.
Exactly. We're all aging very quickly here. Jared Halpern, Fox News Radio, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Sure.
It is true. It's hard to predict how all of these things are impacting these races without actually having the results of the race. But the one thing he talked about was like voter enthusiasm. That's the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings. From all the polls that I've seen, when it comes to voter enthusiasm, Democrats have been floored since election night in 2016. Democrats have been shocked that Donald Trump is the president and offended by everything that Donald Trump is as a president since then. That's always been the case. They've been motivated. They want to undo it. They want to undo it before they even have the chance to vote against him specifically. That's been the MO of the Democratic Party since Election Day. That's not new. What a lot of people were fearing was apathy among Republicans or independents who sympathized with maybe people who couldn't stand Hillary Clinton, maybe people who were doing the lesser of two evils, and they landed with a vote in support of Donald Trump because of that. Your paycheck looks better, possibly. Your taxes have decreased, possibly. All of these sorts of things go together to make you think, yeah, you know what, this isn't so bad, this is good. I don't really love Donald Trump, though, and it's a midterm election. People don't even pay attention to that half the time, sadly so. So those folks would be less likely to be engaged as the people who are enraged about the state of the United States government, the people who despise this president. So when Kavanaugh goes in front of the entire country and ultimately the entire world, and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford is there, and all of this is going on, and it's way less about the actions of Dr. Ford and of Brett Kavanaugh, and way more about the actions of specifically the Senate Democrats on the Judiciary Committee, and those who would go out in front of cameras and speak on the issue. This fringe idea that women good, men bad, it's not a mainstream idea. And I've heard a lot of women who have come to the forefront and been like, I'm not really down with that. I can't get down with that, and I can't just sign on the dotted line and say I'm okay with this Democratic Party taking this kind of control. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with Dean Cain. Very excited to talk to him about the movie that he has out right now, Gosnell. Broke into the top 10 over the weekend. Very excited about that. We'll talk to him about the journey from the beginning of putting this project together and how long it actually took for it to take place. And also, stay tuned. I've been telling you about October 24th. It's a week and a half away. Got some details for you. That will be at 2:25, so don't miss it. October 24th, 6 to 8 p.m. Something big going on for Illinois taxpayers that I'm involved with and very excited to bring with you. We'll be right back.
If Richard lived in Indiana, his property taxes would be at least $4,380 less than what he currently pays in Illinois.
This year it's going to be $8,380, practically double the national rate.
If Wendy lived in Indiana, her property taxes would be at least $7,184 less than what she currently pays in Illinois.
I just not going to stay in Illinois. You can't just keep taxing homeowners.
Your property taxes go up, your home value goes down. Politicians waste your money. The government takes your home. We're all the same when it comes to property taxes. You either force politicians who oppose property tax caps out of office, or they force you out of Illinois. A group of independent property tax reform candidates, including the Metro East's Dwight Kay, are running to save your home and our state now. Go to SaveYourHomeNow.org to take up their fight just as they have taken up yours. You stay. The politicians go, because they're the ones who suck. SaveYourHomeNow.org. Liberty Principles paid for this ad and is solely responsible for its content, not affiliated with any candidate or candidate committee.
Talking about estate planning, your will, your last testament, your powers of attorney, just everything that goes into estate planning. It's like you look at a table in front of you. There are all these very important pieces of your life that you've worked very hard to build, to cultivate, to protect. They're all out there on the table, and you have no idea how to line them up in a way that will protect you if you lose your spouse, or if you are lost, what will happen to everything that belongs to you and the things that you care about, and ultimately the people that you care about. Even in some cases, the people you don't really care for, because sometimes those people can wedge their way into what happens with your estate if you haven't taken charge of it, and they can take it over. Beck Estate Planning and Elder Law. It's Beck Estate Planning and Elder Law. They put all of those pieces together for you because they know the rules, they know the laws. It's Beck Estate Planning and Elder Law, 636-946-7899, online at beckelderlaw.com.
Did you know that some brokers in the St. Louis area charge up to 7% to sell your home? At Straight Realty, we only charge 4%. What can you do with that extra money? Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Last year, Straight Realty sold over $41 million in home sales, saving our clients over $1 million in commissions. Let us help you sell and buy your next home. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
RP Lumber is your source for hardware and building supplies, including lumber, shingles, drywall, and more. Renovating a bathroom or kitchen, making needed repairs, or building your dream home, RP Lumber has the materials you need and skilled team members to help. Shop any of our 68 well-stocked stores or shop us online at rplumber.com for exclusive products for your home, for best service, for best value. It's RP Lumber.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A radio.com station.
A first-hand look at Hurricane Michael's destruction. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump taking an aerial tour of devastated communities in the Florida Panhandle, calling the damage really incredible, including massive trees just ripped out of the earth. Governor Rick Scott was at the airport to greet him when he arrived earlier today.
We've talked almost every day. Everything I've asked for, he's come through.
After the aerial tour, the president and first lady handing out bottled water at a distribution center. They also plan to tour damage in Georgia. At least 19 deaths now blamed on Michael from Florida to Virginia. Hundreds in the Panhandle remain unaccounted for.
Unaccounted for doesn't mean they're necessarily buried in the debris. These are people that they just simply have not been able to contact since the hurricane. And that gets you to the subject of communications. Officials in Bay County are now complaining bitterly about the communications and the reestablishment of the communications.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Mexico Beach. Utility crews also working on hundreds of thousands of power outages. America's top diplomat en route to Saudi Arabia over the suspected murder of a missing journalist. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Prior to leaving for Florida, the president said he dispatched Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to Riyadh to meet with Saudi King Salman.
He's heading to Saudi Arabia. We are going to leave nothing uncovered. With that being said, the king firmly denied any knowledge of it.
Pompeo will try to determine what happened to Jamal Khashoggi, who disappeared after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. Without citing any evidence, the president suggested that rogue killers may have been involved in Khashoggi's disappearance. Lisa?
John, thanks. An hour to the close. On Wall Street, it's a rally for now. The Dow's up 103 points. At times today, it's been lower. The Nasdaq's lower now. This is Fox News.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-509-1667. That's 800-509-1667. 800-509-1667. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
97.1 News Time, 2:03. Good afternoon. I'm Tony Colombo. The candy company Mars Inc. is partnering with a suburban St. Louis company in an effort to improve the cacao tree. Post-Dispatch reports that Mars and Benson Hill Biosystems of Creve Coeur are working together in the effort. Benson Hill has a crop design platform that combines genetic editing with big data techniques. The firm will seek to develop varieties of cacao that are more resilient and more productive. With nearly $30 million in renovations underway on the outside of the Missouri Capitol, attention is turning toward an expensive and lengthy project to upgrade the interior of the building. A consultant hired to oversee the renovation project told state officials this week that the interior work could take as long as 7 years and won't have cost estimates until the end of this year. This news update brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms. Don't forget, FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com.
Check out the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's digital editor, Megan Crane. Ground Game is a weekly conversation with AP reporters and guests about the top political issues around the country ahead of this year's midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Summer is over, the kids are back in school, and traffic is a mess. If you're like me, summer came at a high cost. Vacations, home improvements, school supplies, and it all ends up on the credit cards. Stop living paycheck to paycheck and put that new equity in your house to work for you. This year, get your financial freedom back and pay off all those high interest rate credit cards with a cash out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Don't let the other window companies take advantage of you with their so-called deals. Hi, I'm Steve Wilkie with Wilkie Window and Door, where you get the best pricing on Anderson replacement windows right from the start. No games or tricks, and I promise we won't camp out at your kitchen table until you sign. Call Wilkie Window and Door for a free estimate on high-quality Anderson replacement windows. Visit our Anderson showrooms in Fenton and Shiloh or go to wilkiewindow.com. You'll be glad you did. That's wilkiewindow.com.
Missouri Voter Information Hotline. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling about that TV ad Josh Hawley's running on pre-existing conditions.
Yes, ma'am. What about it?
Is it true?
Well, they don't call Josh Hawley the Golden Boy for nothing. As Attorney General, Hawley did file a lawsuit to allow insurance companies to deny coverage to those with pre-existing conditions.
But Hawley says it affects his family.
Well, as an elected official, Josh Hawley's been given a taxpayer-funded health care plan. He'll be just fine, ma'am.
Wow, good health care for him. But Josh Hawley's trying to rip it away from the rest of us. What are we supposed to do?
You can call Josh Hawley's office at 573-751-3321 and tell him to drop his lawsuit right now. That's 573-751-3321.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Have a nice day.
Paid for by SMP, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. SenateMajority.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Ethanol is vital to rural America's economy. Today, 200 ethanol plants in the heartland support nearly 360,000 jobs, including many family farms. Ethanol is a renewable biofuel that saves drivers money at the pump. Unfortunately, outdated regulations prevent many drivers from choosing a higher ethanol fuel blend called E15. President Trump made a commitment to remove red tape holding back E15 sales year-round. Following through on the president's promise will boost farm incomes by increasing domestic demand for grain at a time of shrinking markets, and it gives drivers an affordable fuel option. Congressman Rodney Davis has been a true champion for year-round E15. With farm incomes at a 12-year low, rural America needs his leadership now. Visit www.e15now.com to tell Congressman Davis to urge the EPA to make year-round E15 a reality. Paid for by Growth Energy.
Hi, this is Curtis Stone. Now, I've cooked a lot of food in my day.
Steaks, salads, pasta, seafood, chicken, soup, sandwiches. I mean, you name it, and I've prepared it thousands of times. But even I can't cook enough to feed all of the 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger. That's 1 out of every 5 children. Now, luckily, there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food produced right here in America to feed every last one of those hungry kids. The only problem is getting it to them. That's where the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks comes in. They gather up surplus food to give hope to hungry kids and their families all across the country. We call them food angels, and you can be a food angel too. Come on, earn your wins by supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back. Happy Monday, folks. It's a nice fall Monday afternoon. This weekend was very fallish. I love gloomy, rainy, gray fall days.
I do too.
Maybe not like the 30th in a row. Maybe. I don't know. I like being cozy and comfy and warm.
I like the occasional gloomy day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sets a mood.
It's nice, especially on a Sunday. Whew.
Yeah. So you just cozy up. You get under a nice blanket, sit by the fire, and watch some TV, and it's just very different than the hustle and bustle of summer. I am always in favor of a slowdown, a calm down, slow down. I hope that. I wonder if the folks can hear what's going on outside.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'm like, I'm going to let you take it.
So talk amongst yourself while I go look out the window.
We've got some.
All I can see, like I can't see directly down outside, but I can see like shovels of asphalt being flung into the air,
bursting into the skies.
I don't see the shovel. I just see the top of the arc of where it's being thrown. I don't know where it's being thrown. I can't.
And we hear the thunder of the drill.
But you can see it. You can hear a jackhammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear the jackhammer, but I can hear it. So if there's this underlying something going on outside, I don't know what they're doing outside, but they're working hard. That's
and
good.
I hope they're doing something with the roads. Let's make these roads good around this area.
Make roads great again.
Yes.
So, speaking of a gloomy weekend, a gloomy fall weekend, Sunday, I had my 3 kids at home because my husband had to go to something else. And I spent my Sunday afternoon working on this October 24th thing that I've been teasing for, almost a week now. October 24th from 6 to 8, I am going to give you more details here in about 15 minutes at about 2:25, between 2:25 and 2:30. So stay tuned to that and keep your eye on the Facebook page. I'm talking to Illinois taxpayers and those who love Illinois taxpayers. Make sure you've gone and liked the Facebook page, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. You will get the first glimpse of it there, and then I will be talking to you about it at 2:25. If you are an Illinois taxpayer and you are sick and tired of going the way of northern, specifically northeastern Illinois, and you want to do something about it, you need your voice to be heard in a way that is impactful. I've got something for you. So stay tuned for that. Very excited to welcome our next guest onto the show, Dean Cain, actor, producer, frequent guest on Fox News. I think you've been one lucky guy a few times before. Dean, it's great to have you on the show today.
Annie, I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So the key reason why we wanted to have you on is to talk about this movie that you've been involved with for some time and getting it
into the theaters hasn't been easy. Our listeners will definitely recognize the name Kermit Gosnell. You have the movie out right now, Gosnell, The Trial of America's Biggest Serial Killer, breaking into the top 10 on its opening weekend at the box office, according to Box Office Mojo. Congratulations on that. What has it taken to get to here?
Oh, my gosh. How long is the show? Because this will take an hour and a half just to describe. It's been such a process. Number one, when it took place itself, when the event happened, the press didn't cover it, and they didn't want to cover it because it's a very controversial subject, and it's tough. It's a tough subject. So they didn't cover it at all, and that was part of the story. Raising the money to make the film. We were originally trying to raise it on Kickstarter. We got kicked off of Kickstarter because they thought it was controversial content. They didn't want to have that on there, so they kicked us off and went to Indiegogo and raised a record amount of money in a record time, $2.3 million in a short period of time.
Wow.
We made the movie in about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and then it took all this time in order for us to be able to find distribution because nobody wanted to distribute it. Then we finally got some distribution. We're ready to get it out there, and then a lot of places won't let us advertise. NPR stopped us from advertising, too controversial. We couldn't call him an abortion doctor, even though that's what he was.
I was going to say, what are the alternatives?
Yeah. They wanted us to call him a doctor, but no. We also couldn't advertise on Facebook for various reasons. Who knows what exactly, because it's a little hazy over there. And so it's been a brawl everywhere we go. And even then, publicizing the film, people have gotten so angry. They say it's a pro-choice film. It's this, that. It's nothing. It doesn't take a decision. It doesn't take a side on the issue of abortion. It just tells the story, the true story of this man who may very well be the greatest serial killer of all time because of what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And what he was doing was, well, first of all, his clinic hadn't been inspected in 17 years. And the reason for that is that it was political. Governor Tom Ridge at the time of Pennsylvania had said, just don't inspect it. It's women's reproductive rights. We don't want to touch it. It's a political minefield, so just let it go. And so they didn't. And this guy was able to act with impunity for 17 years. And what he was doing was, well, first thing is he was an abortion doctor. He was performing late-term abortions in Pennsylvania, which in the Pennsylvania law, he's from Philadelphia, the Pennsylvania law says 24 weeks, which is 6 months. After that, it's illegal except for very specific extenuating circumstances. And he was routinely performing these late-term abortions, but the process for doing this late-term abortion is called D&E, dilation and extraction. But he wasn't doing that. It's described in the film dilation and extraction, and that's horrible.
Yeah.
People aren't even aware of what that process is, and we would certainly educate them if they saw the film. But he was actually inducing birth in these mothers. They were having babies who, at 24, 26 weeks, these children have a 90% chance of living.
Yeah.
If they're born at that time. And he was inducing birth and then snipping the spinal cords of these live children to ensure fetal demise, to kill them. And he maybe was doing 3 or 4 of these a day for 17 years, and the number is it's just shocking.
It is, absolutely. I have a dear friend of mine who was born in 1983 at, I believe, 23 weeks and several days. And he's a friend of mine. You wouldn't ever know that he went through such a early crisis in his life. And that was in the early 80s. This Gosnell character, who is featured in the movie Gosnell, The Trial of America's Biggest Serial Killer, out in theaters right now. This is a true story. This isn't like some political shot at abortion and it's highly motivated by some sort of agenda. This is the telling of a true story. Like you said, it doesn't specifically take a side. You're just telling a story that's true, and you use the word controversial. I'm trying to think of when Hollywood's tried to shy away from controversial. What is it about this issue so much that has you and the other producers and actors involved in this project pushing back so hard against getting this movie out?
Well, it's because it is abortion, and that is a word that you're not allowed to say. You can say women's reproductive rights, you can say things like that, but it really comes down to abortion, terminating pregnancies, and killing babies, and people don't want to say that. And it's an ugly business. It's an ugly thing to be involved with. It's horrific. and it's nature. And so people just don't want to face it. It's one of those dirty little secrets we can sweep under the rug, but you can't, and you shouldn't. And there may be more clinics like this out now. There may be many of them operating right now, which are just horrific. Now, surprisingly enough, I'm actually pro-choice. I believe in a woman's right to choose up until viability of the fetus, and that's changing all the time. It's becoming earlier and earlier. Mm-hmm. The reason I say that is I would never abort my own child. I'm 100% pro-life when it comes to something that I'm involved in. But as a legislator, if I were legislating, making the laws, I would not make it illegal, but I would certainly cap it at 20 weeks. Mm-hmm. Unless there was extreme circumstances, rape, incest, and medical situations that were severe. Because at that point in time, you have a viable human being. You're no longer making the decision just for your own body. And so I would be for legislation to protect that child. Before then, I wouldn't legislate what to do, although I don't like it. Mm-hmm. It's not something I would go, yay, let's do this. It's something I certainly don't like, but I wouldn't change the law to do that. And so people say, how could you be pro-choice after doing this movie? And I got attacked by pro-lifers. Pro-choice people got upset that, we spoke to the Values Voter Summit, and they think it's a pro-life film. People, everybody was coming at us from every different side, and the truth is this is a real story, and it needs to be out there. And if people want to attack us or attack me personally for being in this film and playing this character, so be it. That's fine. I'm quite happy to take the slings and arrows to talk about this controversial subject and to tell this story that needs to be told.
Yeah, we're speaking with Dean Cain, who plays Detective James Wood in Gosnell, the trial of America's biggest serial killer. And, you highlight your personal position on abortion. For a lot of people, there is nuance when this issue is discussed. I'm a very pro-life person myself. And some people are in the pro-choice category. Some people are in the pro-abortion category. We've heard people from Hollywood talk about, shouting your abortion from the rooftops, celebrating your abortion. But the ultimate thing that needs to take place here is the conversation needs to be had. We need to be talking about it in a way that allows us to get the truth and the facts out there so that when people are formulating their opinions on this very key, important issue, they're doing it with knowledge and science, something that you would expect a lot of the people who are very pro-abortion to embrace the science behind it. In the wake of breaking into the top 10 this weekend, on opening weekend for the movie, are you getting positive reaction back from the experience of people taking in this movie?
Oh, I've got almost nothing but positive reaction.
Wow, that's great.
First of all, to be in the top 10 is shocking for a tiny movie like this that had such trouble being released and funded and everything, and they stopping us from being able to publicize it. So it's just incredible that has happened. Word of mouth has been so strong, and I thank God for all the people who have gotten out there and said something. There was a review that someone posted on Twitter, which is normally very toxic, but somebody said this, and it's been so interesting, and I wish I would have saved it because I'm going to quote it incorrectly, but they said, if you want to go cry this weekend, go see A Star is Born. If you want to be entertained and see an action movie, go see Venom. But if you want to see a movie that's going to affect your life and might change the world as you know it, go see Gosnell.
Wow.
And I thought that was pretty strong and the best review that I could possibly put out there.
Absolutely. Well, Gosnell, the trial of America's biggest serial killer, is in theaters now. You can go look it up, see what theater is showing this picture near you. Rotten Tomatoes has given it a score of 67%, which to me is a very positive Rotten Tomatoes score. They're not very forgiving there. But the audience score gives the film a 4.9 out of 5 rating. That's where you can really gauge the audience reaction to the film. I want to thank you for helping push this through and staying committed to this process, because this Kermit Gosnell character, he's serving 3 life sentences in jail right now. He has gotten what's coming to him, at least in this earthly life. But you and the people who've been involved in this movie and pushing it forward, we need more of that, people who aren't willing to give up in the face of the adversity. And we're grateful that you took the effort to do this, and I hope that people take the effort to go out and see the film soon.
Well, Annie, I really appreciate that. That's exactly it. Having the conversation about this is the most important thing. We hope that the film sparks that kind of conversation with people so it's not such a taboo subject and you can't have discussions. We want people to talk about it and to talk about this guy in particular, who is such an interesting case because he still doesn't think that he did anything wrong, and he thinks he's still going to get out of jail. Wow. He's a real character.
Yeah, and these are true facts. It's a true story, and it's one that people need to hear about. Dean Cain, thank you so much for the time today. We really do appreciate it.
Annie, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797 if you want to talk about that. Specifically, if you've seen the movie, Gosnell, I'd love to hear from you. I'm looking forward to getting to see it as soon as possible. These 3 kids of mine, I tell you what, they make life pretty hard when it comes to my quote-unquote spare time.
Free time.
And not free. You go out on a date, it's like more expensive to get someone to watch your kids than the actual date.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you see us going on a date, Jared and Annie just like sitting down the street in the car in silence.
Don't talk to me.
Paying $80 for babysitter, and my kids are driving them crazy. But not us. Well spent $80. 314-241-9797. Also, Illinois taxpayers, I'm going to tell you about this event as soon as we come back and give you a little bit of the lay of the land. Also, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, and you get a little heads up on the information. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Get the accurate local forecast.
Pleasant start out the door this morning.
From the name in St. Louis weather.
No real change in the weather pattern overnight tonight.
FM News Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray on FM News Talk 97.1. Powered by Air Comfort Service.
It's summer, so let's get your body in shape with non-surgical cool sculpting from Reidenauer Plastic Surgery. Eliminate that stubborn back fat, flabby abs, and love handles. Call 314-878-8600 and shape up with Reidenauer. 878-8600.
Whether you're buying a meal or maybe a car or something for your home, you know that quality matters. Sometimes you spend a little bit less and you get a little less quality and you're okay with it. But when it comes to investing in your home, you know that quality matters. Quality is really everything. If you save too much money and you cut corners, then you end up having to pay for it again. And then the second time around, you have to have it done right. That's why you need to go with Banner Construction. If you're looking at replacing the dingy siding on your house, or if you're looking at transforming your house into the shining star of your neighborhood, whatever it might be, Banner Construction invests heavily into the thought of quality being at the center of what they do. They care deeply about customer service, about your satisfaction with the project, and using just the absolute top quality products like James Hardie fiber cement siding. Banner Construction's experienced technicians look for this one-time opportunity to transform your home by adding character and detail to your home. You don't even know what the possibilities are. That's why when you sit down with Banner Construction, they are the experts. They can tell you how to do really cool things with the new siding on your home using creative techniques like highlighting with subtle color variations and generous use of architectural accents. Call 314-569-1050. Call 314-569-1050 to check out Banner Construction and have a banner day.
This is your Small Business Minute, brought to you by Spectrum Business. Have you, your employees, or customers complained about slow internet at your business? Businesses can lose nearly 11 working days each year due to technology failures, and 48% of workers point to slow internet connections as the main cause for that lost time. To check your internet speeds, run an online speed test. If your speeds are slower than 200 megabits per second, you may not be maximizing your productivity. While out-of-date devices, browser settings, and excessive applications can contribute to lagging internet speeds, you should also evaluate your provider. The good news is that Spectrum Business can help you get back on track. With speeds starting at 200 megabits per second, Spectrum Business gives you the speed you need to keep your business running efficiently. And with prices starting at just $44.99 per month, your business will likely save money every month. This has been your Small Business Minute. Visit business.spectrum.com today to learn how Spectrum Business can work for you.
You bet Claire McCaskill fastens her seatbelt. Because she wants to keep her seat, her Senate seat. The same seat Claire has sat in for 12 years, using government to enrich herself. Like when McCaskill's family's business used their private plane as collateral for a financing deal with a bank. A month after the deal went through, McCaskill co-sponsored legislation to exempt the very same bank from regulation. The Wall Street Journal called the special carve-out for the bank, quote, disconcerting. But it was a good deal for the McCaskills and the bank. It's all part of the McCaskill money machine, The longer she's in Washington, the wealthier she gets. And we pay the price. It's time to ground Claire McCaskill. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms: frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Sean Hannity.
What? Come again?
Weeknights 7 to 9.
You can't live your life by what other people think of you.
Hannity.
It doesn't matter what people think.
Weeknights 7 to 9.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. They say it's all
This
right.
is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Say it's all right. Have a good time. 'Cause it's all right. Whoa, it's all right. Now we gonna move it slow. Up in the lights are low. When you move it slow, it feels like a moan. 'Cause it's all right. Whoa, it's all right. And now listen to the beat.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. On Twitter, you can follow me at Annie Frey Show. It was suggested to the station and to me that on National Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day, today might not have been the best day to promote the Gosnell movie. My response to that is to the woman who tweeted that to me. I appreciate her weighing in and suggesting that. I appreciate hearing her point of view. However, I think today might be the best day to promote this movie. And I did not know that it was Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day. So today I will also remember the miscarriage that I experienced. So not to be insensitive to anybody who's experienced that. I've experienced it myself. It's unexplainable. I will save you the details because I didn't realize this until I experienced it, and I went in to see my OB to find out what was going on, and it turned out that it was what we had feared. And I had had 2 children already, and I was very worried about whether or not this would affect my ability to have children in the future. And he said, no. He goes, I hate to say it this way and to be this simple about it, but he said about 1 in 3 women experience a miscarriage like this. And I had no idea it was that common. And the reason why I bring that up is I'm not looking for any pity. I mean, I'm a third of women who experience pregnancies can experience something like that. I was 7.5 weeks, almost 8 weeks in. That's a lot of women, and people don't talk about it. And I know that I hear from a lot of people who say people need to come out and talk about it. People need to hear about it more. I'm a firm believer in if people want to talk about it, they will talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, they won't talk about it. I didn't talk about it for a long time. There were people in my family who didn't even know because they hadn't heard that I was pregnant yet. And it's not a real happy place to live. So if you choose not to talk about it, it's your right. It's your right not to talk about it. So that was brought up. And if you are somebody who is in the camp that I am, who's suffered a loss like that, and, with every day that passes into the pregnancy where you experience what it's like to have a life inside of you and then to lose it is a tragic event. And it's terrible. So if you were recognizing that day today, I would just want to recognize you. And I'm not going to be ashamed of bringing the Gosnell movie to the forefront, because I think that movie should be front and center, because this is something that's really going on in our country right now. And it's just a topic people don't want to talk about. And that is evidenced by how hard it was for Dean Cain and the other people who were involved with him in the production of this movie to get the information out there, to get people willing to participate and fund it. And here they are. They've finally made it. It's finally out there, and they've cracked the top 10. So congratulations to Dean Cain and the rest of the folks who were involved in that. So I've been teasing this, and I'm going to give you information now, but I'm also going to be doing a Facebook Live, I believe, Wednesday evening from the Facebook show, facebook.com/Andy Frey Show, with even more details, because this has come together very last minute, but it's very important. October 24th, it's a Wednesday, and I've been telling you October 24th, 6 to 8 p.m., and telling you to mark that down on your calendar. The American Legion in Collinsville, Illinois, we are hosting a taxpayer revolt rally. If you're somebody who is living in the state of Illinois, and I talk to you, and if you want to call in right now, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, or 866-455-9797, I'd love to hear from you. This is a rally to unite people on that are going to be voting in the state of Illinois. And I also add people who support those individuals to show how strong we are, how upset we are, and how we can funnel that frustration into our power of voting. The problem that we discuss frequently in the state of Illinois is the way we feel captured by the northeastern corner of the state. Chicago has its own, it's famous for its corrupt ways. It's famous for its way of doing business. It's famous for the Madigan way of doing business. And the truth of the matter is, in the Illinois House, we are 9 seats away from a Republican majority. That might seem like a lot, but I'm here to tell you right now, the last election, just 2 years ago, we won 6 seats in the House. Republicans turned 6 seats red, and we lost 1 and turned it blue. So we gained 5 seats the last time. Can we gain 9 this time? I don't know, but we can sure as hell try. And right here, right across the river in the state of Illinois, are 4 seats currently held by Democrats, people who have been on this show, people who are just like you, who are sick and tired of the overtaxation. You guys hear about this mileage tax that's being pitched? The discussion includes putting GPS devices on your car so they can track how much you drive so they can tax you for it. Because you're already paying the taxes for the car. You're already paying the sales taxes for the car. You're already paying the taxes on the gasoline. You're already paying the registration fees and the licensing fees for your car. You're paying all these fees to the state of Illinois so that you can drive. Well, let me put it to you this way. If Chicago frustrates you, maybe you love the city of Chicago. I love the city of Chicago. Beautiful city, wonderful, iconic city in the United States of America. Politically, it's a hole. What happens if a mileage tax gets implemented? How many people are consolidated? How many times have you heard as a taxpayer in the state of Illinois that, you know, if you're talking about voters, well, look at all the people who live in Chicago and live in the suburbs. Look at all those people up there. You know, if you want to complain about why everything goes the way of Chicago, it's because the majority of the people live there. Well, the only way that Southern Illinois gets to be heard is if we send people to Springfield to represent us in the way we want to be represented. And if you are sick and tired of feeling as though you are going the way of Chicago, the mileage tax is a very good example of how Southern Illinois gets screwed in the process. How many people in Chicago don't even drive cars? How many people in Chicago don't even have licenses? Keep telling me that's where the majority of the people in the state live. So when this mileage tax gets implemented, who's going to be paying it? It's going to be the people who commute to work. Who drives longer distance to commute to work? People downstate. People who don't live in high populated, condensed areas of business and commerce. It's punitive towards Southern Illinois residents. And they're actually floating this idea out there. J.B. Pritzker's not opposed to it. Bruce Rauner says he is opposed to it. I think we need to hold his feet to the fire and make sure that when he says he's opposed to things, that he actually is. But I've got another piece of information for you, and I've been wrestling with this for a lot of time. We have a governor race in front of us, and we have a choice. We're going to have Sam McCann on the show tomorrow. Is that right?
Yep.
Sam McCann in like the 1 o'clock hour, I think. Sam McCann is running for the Conservative Party in the state of Illinois. Cash Jackson is running on the Libertarian ticket. And then you have Bruce Rauner, who's running as the Republican, and you have J.B. Pritzker running as the Democrat. The only two candidates that even show up in the polls are J.B. Pritzker and Bruce Rauner. So you have to ask yourself, if you want to live in a reality of staunch principles where you'll never go against them, or if you want to live in the reality of the binary choice that you have in front of you. If you don't want to throw your vote away by not voting, but you know you don't want to vote for one of the candidates in there, so you're going to put it on a third party ticket, it's your prerogative. It's your vote. I'm never going to tell you who to vote for. People call in and say, Annie, what do we do? I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I'm going to do. Right now, the HB 40 issue has been one that has been very, very hard for me to swallow in the state of Illinois. I'm going to look at what J.B. Pritzker's responsibility is right now, what his attitude is towards abortion. I'm going to see how he feels about abortion. And I'm going to ask myself if me trying to put myself in the way of J.B. Pritzker becoming the governor of the state of Illinois is going to be a way to stand up against things like HB 40, whether or not it was signed by the current governor or not. Where is your best, what is the best hope that you have for limited taxation? Where are the higher taxes going to come from? Who is campaigning on higher taxes? And what can I do to stop it? These are questions that I'm asking myself right now. These are questions that you need to be asking yourself right now. But on October 24th at the American Legion in Collinsville, Illinois, we have a long list of committed politicians, candidates who are going to be joining us. The list is growing. We are still working to confirm on other ones, so that will be added. And there are people on here who have voted for tax increases. There are people on here who have vetoed tax increases. There are people who have agreed with the governor. There are people who have disagreed with the governor. There are people who liked Bruce Rauner. There are people who liked Jeannie Ives. But I'm going to tell you one thing. J.B. Pritzker is the worst thing that could happen to the state of Illinois. And eliminating Mike Madigan as the Speaker of the House is one of the best things that can happen for the state of Illinois. And the thing that stands in the way of a J.B. Pritzker governorship, and the thing that stands in the way of a Mike Madigan speakership is you. It's your vote. And it's you standing next to a room full of other people who feel the exact same way. Down here in Southern Illinois, where we understand one another, where we get what it means to live in Southern Illinois, and the fact that Southern Illinois does not equate not Chicago. So on October 24th, we're going to get together. I'm hosting the event. I'm going to be there. Katie's going to be there. Tony's going to tell me after we get off the air here. He said he can come. He's going to be there. Trisha from the morning show is going to be there. Mark Cox says it's Ginger's birthday, so I told him, nope, you do you. That's all right. I get it. You do what you got to do. But we're going to have several people from the station there. I want to meet you. This is my first time to come out and meet people when I've had a weekday show. I'm so excited to do this. This is a time for us right before the election to get together, get our act together, be with one another, because these candidates are coming to this rally because we asked them to be there, not because they asked us to be there. They are leading this charge into Springfield with us behind them, not with us sitting at home hoping that they understand what we're sending them there to do. It's a charge. It's a revolt in Illinois. We're sick and tired. We'll do as much damage as we possibly can on November 6th on the Republican side of the ticket. But it's going to take you and me and you telling your friends and going on Facebook and RSVPing to this event, sharing this event to your folks and, sending it in the Messenger, Facebook Messenger to your friends who want to go. Spread the word. We want an overflow crowd. We want Mike Madigan to understand that we are downstate united, that we are going to send people to Springfield to stop him. And whether we take that speakership away from him this cycle or the next, we won't stop, because our Illinois is worth fighting from the grips, from the wrinkly old grips of Mike Madigan, who's been in control of Springfield for my entire life. So join me October 24th. Facebook page, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. We're going to get all of this information up to as well at 971talk.com/Annie, so you can have it all there if you're not on Facebook. This is something that we said last week, hey, we should do this. And now it's happening. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. The governor's going to be there. You're not going to want to miss it. All right. Phone calls when we come back. 314-241-9797. Love to talk to you about anything going on today. You are up next. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
A bit of a gloomy day again across the St. Louis area as clouds control. Any rain is going to be quite limited and coming to an end. Don't expect much in the way of rain on this Monday. 40s to near 50 degrees. Tonight, crystal clear skies. Kind of a cold night with areas of frost. 35 for the low. Tuesday, tons of sunshine. 58. Quiet weather in here near 60 on Wednesday and Thursday. This is FM News Talk 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The target of progressivism is individualism. Mark Levin. The purpose of the great progressive change is to control you, is to smother you. This is what your media believe in.
Weeknights, 9 to midnight on FM News Talk
97.1.
Hanson Meat Company has a fun little competition that they started right between the Annie Frey Show and the Dave Glover Show. Always good to be able to work with sponsors of the show and get to know them. Ryan at Hanson Meat Company loves what he does, and he is fully invested in quality in the meat that you will totally understand why his products are premium products. Here's the competition. There's a Rachel bundle and there's an Annie bundle. Rachel from the Dave Glover Show has her own, but for the Annie bundle, you can go into Hanson Meat anywhere, Edwardsville, Jerseyville, or Alton, and order the Annie bundle, which is just $50. I've bought one myself, and we've already eaten half of it. It's a ribeye steak, a filet steak, 4 famous beef hot dogs, so delicious. And my favorite in the whole thing, one package of their famous chicken kebabs. They have 3 flavors you can choose from. I absolutely love them. They are so good. 2 pounds of boneless chicken breast, 2 pounds of ground beef, and 3 delicious Fire Creek meat stick snacks. They are so amazing. You will love it. And that's all for just $50. You will be blown away with how much meat you walk away from Hanson Meat Company. Go in, order the Annie bundle, a great way to support this show and a friend of the show as well. And make sure you check out that Buy a Turkey, Give a Turkey charitable campaign. When you buy a turkey in any of their stores in the month of October, Hanson will donate a turkey to a needy family in the community. Plus, you get a free t-shirt, which I have one as well. Online at hansonmeatco.com.
As summer approaches, are you wanting a place to spend more time outdoors with family and friends? Now, through October 31st, Lakeside Exteriors is offering 18 months interest-free financing or 25% off carpentry, stone and brick, and deck projects. Call Lakeside Exteriors today at 636-978-5000 or visit us online at lakesideexteriors.com. And let us help you add that beautiful entertainment space like a new rear porch or 3 or 4 season room and enjoy the summer doing the things you love. Lakeside Exteriors, helping you create your dream home.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Did you know some people pay more in taxes than they have to? It's not because those people aren't smart. It's because the tax laws can be too complicated for the average person to understand. And now that President Trump's new tax laws are in effect, you'll be seeing more changes on the 2018 return that you file next year. The question we're all asking is this: how are those changes going to affect my retirement? Well, here's your chance to find out. The New Reality in Our Retirement courses are back at the STL Learning Center this fall. And this month's featured speakers are Steve All and Mel Brandon of the All Financial Group. During these 2-night sessions, you'll learn more about how to take advantage of today's lower tax rates to keep more money in your pocket in the future. You'll also learn more about issues like Social Security, income planning, and helping to protect your portfolio against a market loss. Sign up for the courses that are convenient for you. Register today at stllearningcenter.com. Again, that's stllearningcenter.com.
Would you like your business to get found on Google Search and Maps? Reach customers online with Google using data to drive growth. Would you like someone from Google to show you exactly how to do these things? Then you'll want to RSVP for the St. Louis Small Business Monthly Expo, the largest B2B expo in Missouri. October 24th at the St. Charles Convention Center, you can attend Google's Grow Your Business Lab and other powerful seminars absolutely free. RSVP right now at stlexpo.com. stlexpo.com.
The $1,000 political payoff. Brought to you by WeFixMoney.com. Need emergency cash? Check out WeFixMoney.com for more.
This hour's keyword is horse.
Horse.
Got one?
Beer from the horses. Horse. Beer from just one beer.
Why?
I like beer.
Whiskey for my men.
I still drink beer.
Beer for my
horse. One horse.
Save a horse. Ride a cowboy.
I can't think of any of these.
Because they're all country. There's not
so
many non-country
about,
songs that talk about horses.
Who's gonna ride your wild horses?
That's
right.
Gosh, darn it.
Rode into town on
just
a
one
horse with no name.
Just one horse.
Horse with no name.
Horse with
just a horse, not horses. Horse. This hour's keyword is horse. If you haven't figured that out, text the word horse 72881 by the end of the hour for your chance to win the $1,000 political payoff. That's horse to 72881. Message and data rates apply. This is a national contest. Don't text and drive.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show, live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service offers residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back. Facebook.com/Annie Frey Show for all the event information that we have so far on the Taxpayer Revolt Rally in Collinsville, Illinois. A lot of high-profile confirmed candidates who will be on the ballot in 2018 are listed there, who have said that they were going to be there, including the governor and Congressman Shimkus. We're working on a few others, and quite a few people who are their incumbents seeking to retain their seats in the House, in the Illinois House, and 4 individuals who are looking to flip blue seats to red seats right across the river. Very important. And if you want to come out and hang out with me and the show here and some other folks from 97.1, we would love to have you out 6 to 8 p.m. at the American Legion in Collinsville, Illinois. Real quick before we got to go here, I want to get to some calls. Let's go to Ed. Ed, thanks for calling the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping make this more aware.
Go ahead with your comment.
Well, I just want to say that the unusual thing happened after the show when we went last night is when it was over, every person stayed quiet, stayed their seats until every credit disappeared and the screen was blank.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before. And then they got up and walked out very slowly, again, not saying much. And the only time I've seen something like this before was when my wife and I visited Dachau prison camp in Germany, and when I went to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. It just seemed like people were so overwhelmed, and they didn't really know how to express their feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really hard thing to take in, especially when you know the truth that exists behind it.
It was, and I think the producers and people involved in the movie did a very unusual thing. They made people aware of how bad it was without the Hollywood graphics and sensationalism. It was as tastefully done, I think, as was possible, but still pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ed, for the call, and thank you for sharing your experience.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Mike, thanks for calling the show.
Yeah, this is Mike.
Yep, thank you. Go ahead.
Back in the when Bush was running for his second term, we had a guy by the name of Ross Perot got in the vote. And he divided the Republicans in half, and that's why we ended up with Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely made an impact.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise he wouldn't have won.
Yeah, I hesitate to see what's going to happen in this midterm election, specifically in the state of Illinois. But, it takes a unified measure, and you have to understand the reality of the choice in front of you. And, that's not always the best thing. That certainly was the case in 2016. Many people were not happy with either of the two mainstream candidates, and you kind of had to pick a vote based on what you feared the most.
I love you guys' show. You guys keep it up.
Thanks, Mike.
Keep doing the job.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
How many people voted in I wonder what percentage of people voted in 2016 based on who they did not want to win. Me. I'm one of them.
A whole bunch.
Yeah. And which is why I look at the way everything has been going since 2016's election, the body of promises that Donald Trump has kept. And obviously he hasn't done everything. It's not even been 2 full years. All right, 2 full years. 1, 2. Yeah, 2 full years. It's really impressive. And the whole time he's been doing it in his own Donald Trump way, kind of going back to what we stated initially, President Trump with that interview with 60 Minutes. And at this point, when I'm watching these interviews, I'm just laughing because it's like two people playing a part. You have the mainstream media saying things, the question that they're asking, what they're trying to get him to say, and then he says exactly what you expect him to say, which has nothing to. He's just. I mean, I can't say it. I can't say it any better than he did. Which one is this one?
I'm just telling you that you treated me much differently on the subject.
I disagree, but I don't want to have that fight with you.
Hey,
it's
okay.
Have another fight with you.
Leslie, it's okay. In the meantime, I'm president and you're not.
Hey, it's so like middle school of him. But that's the way the media works. The media is like, we wear pink on Wednesdays. They are the mean girls of mean girls. They make rules. They don't have to follow their own rules. They go ahead and do what they want when they want based on what is best for them. And if you don't like it, you're out. And they will do everything to destroy you. I swear, if we sent over a gaggle of 13 and 14-year-old girls to like all of the scariest places in the world and let them treat these people the way a gaggle of mean 13 and 14-year-old girls can treat people, they would have these people crying. Forget torture, forget waterboarding, junior high girls.
Get those 8th graders in there. They'll tear you apart.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth. Being bullied when I was in junior high is largely responsible for who I am today. But I also know I can think of a handful of times right now where I know I was the mean girl. And that's a sad thing to realize. It's not always everybody else. That's why it's in junior high and it's not supposed to be in the media. That's why you're supposed to grow up. Grow up! That's why Donald Trump's president. And you're not. Dave Glover Show coming your way. Facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. Go RSVP for my event because I want to meet you. We'll be back tomorrow. Dave Glover Show coming your way.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
If you're having payroll tax problems, the IRS can and will come to your business and shut it down. Hi, this is Lance Drury, and I'm an experienced tax attorney based right here in St. Louis. Look, the IRS takes payroll tax issues very seriously, and penalties are extremely high. As a business owner, you can be held personally responsible, so shutting your business down will not protect you. Call my office and set up a free confidential appointment today. I have over 12 years of extensive experience dealing with the IRS and payroll tax issues, and I can help you resolve your problems quickly. Remember, if you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems. You need an attorney who specializes in tax law. You need me, Lance Drury. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Do you know the number one mistake retirees and pre-retirees are making with their retirement accounts? Do you know about the hidden fees inside of your mutual funds and 401ks? Do you also know the best strategy to shift from accumulation to income and preservation of assets? This is Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'd like to show you the kind of lifestyle your retirement accounts can provide, whether you're retiring now or even in the next 5 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll design your own personalized, structured income plan that will show you exactly the amount of income you can count on. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my best-selling book, The Boomer's Guide to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees achieve a worry-free retirement for over 31 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
If you own a home, listen up. Got your cell phone? Pick it up and get ready to save $100.
I'm listening.
Right now, Home Warranty of America will take $100 off their Premier or Premier Plus plan just for signing up. Simply dial 844-CALL-HWA.
I have homeowners insurance. Why do I need a home warranty?
Because your insurance won't cover this.
Not the washer.
Or this.
My microwave.
Or big items like your water heater, fridge, air conditioner, or furnace.
Whoa.
Unlike homeowners insurance, HWA gives you comprehensive repair and replacement coverage from normal wear and tear for the systems and appliances you use every day. Plans start as low as $1.19 a day.
Now I'm really listening.
Then dial 844-CALL-HWA. Get $100 off for signing up. 844-CALL-HWA. Home Warranty of America.
Got it.
Limited time offer. 30-day wait period after contract start date. Terms and conditions apply.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A radio.com station.
The damage is incredible. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from President Trump after taking an aerial tour of the Florida Panhandle, where whole communities were devastated by Hurricane Michael.
To see this personally, it's very tough. Very, very tough.
He and the First Lady also spending some time on the ground at a distribution center handing out bottled water. In hard-hit Mexico Beach, Florida, dozens remain unaccounted for.
Much of the effort is focused on search and recovery. We have seen the searchers do a preliminary search. They did a more detailed secondary search with the dogs, was searching all of the void spaces inside of the debris. Now what they're doing, they've got the shallow draft boats and they're in the backwaters, in the woods there, seeing if anyone was blown away from this location.
Fox's Mike Tobin, the president and first lady, also plan to tour damage in Georgia. Sears, an iconic American brand for decades, files for bankruptcy. CEO Eddie Lampert stepping down as part of the process.
This is where they were headquartered until 1973 when they built the new Sears Tower.
Fox Business Network's Jeff Flock in Chicago outside the original Sears Tower, where a distribution center that also made the famous catalog used to cover an entire block.
And I tell you, Eddie Lampert thought there was value here. But I quote him today when he said, admitting over the past several years we have worked hard to transform our business and unlock the value of our assets. And while we've made progress, the plan has yet to deliver on the results we have desired. Indeed, revenue down 73% over the course of the past 10 years. It was 10 years ago was the last year Sears made a profit.
A nearly $2 billion loan expected to keep the chain operating at least through Christmas, but by year's end, nearly 200 Sears and Kmart stores will close. Meantime, a late sell-off on Wall Street, the Dow down 89 points at the bell after crossing between positive and negative dozens of times. This is Fox News.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. Today's fluctuating interest rates can leave you with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates so you can buy a home with certainty. It's called Rate Shield, and here's how it works. With Rate Shield, you can lock your interest rate while you shop for a new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And here's the best part. If rates go down, you get the lower rate. With Rate Shield, we really have you covered. Here are more reasons why you'll want to work with America's largest mortgage lender. For 8 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rate Shield, another way we can save you money on your mortgage. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
97.1 News Time 3:03. Good afternoon. I'm Tony Colombo. Missouri's Republican Senate candidate Josh Hawley is taking a cue from President Donald Trump in decrying what he describes as mob behavior by Democrats. Hawley made his comments on NBC's Meet the Press Sunday. Trump and Senate Republicans have been warning about what they say would be Democratic mob rule as they seek to amp up GOP voters before the midterms. Hawley is vying for Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill's seat. A federal judge says Missouri has violated the rights of people serving life in prison without parole for offenses committed when they were children. U.S. District Judge Nanette Lowry has ordered state officials to develop a plan within 60 days that provides such inmates with a, quote, meaningful and realistic opportunity for release. This news update brought to you by Brenton Vision, Mark Close's choice for vision correction, 314-375-2020, BrentonVision.com. Don't forget, FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com.
I'm not an actor. What you're about to hear is my real story, no fluff.
Missourian Nancy Geiler.
My husband, Dan, is a good man and a great father. He's our rock.
But Dan's diabetes medicine costs over $2,000 a month.
That's a fortune to us. We've had to borrow from family, max out credit cards, and skip doses of Dan's insulin. We reached out to both our senators, but only one responded.
It was Claire McCaskill.
She listened and made us a priority.
Claire McCaskill is cracking down on greedy drug companies. She worked with both parties to pass a law that speeds up approvals of less expensive generic drugs. Josh Hawley's trying to let insurance companies stop covering any of the cost of prescriptions.
A lot of politicians talk. Claire McCaskill fights for us.
Paid for by Patients for Affordable Drugs Action, who is responsible for the content of this advertising. www.p4adaction.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Guys, if you snore, and this is what happens,
What?
It's more than just annoying. It could be a sign of a serious health problem called sleep apnea. Renew Sleep Solutions can diagnose and treat sleep apnea, beginning with an easy in-home sleep test. And they work with your medical insurance, so there may be little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Call 314-279-9000 now to learn more, or visit renewsleep.com.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. Browse tables of firearms, ammo, knives, books, and military items. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission's only $7. Kids under 12 free with the paid adults, and parking is free. Don't miss the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show this weekend at the Arnold Eagles on 1725 Jeff Cole Boulevard. For complete information, visit MissouriArms.com. The Missouri Arms Collectors Association is a not-for-profit NRA affiliated club.
Listen to why Alan from Glen Carbon trusted Michael Mohan from Community Mortgage